What's happening, everybody? Appreciate you checking in. You guys are in the Raider War Room on a Tuesday. Tuesday, we hit you every Tuesday and Sunday. We appreciate everybody popping in with us. I got my guys, Chris, Protect the Show podcast, as well as the Severe Raider, the Five Raider Real Talk Raider Nation. I appreciate you guys joining us, man. With my guys, Chris. How you feeling, brother?
Hey, I'm good, man. I'm good. It's been a good day. Actually, decent weather here in Ohio. You know, it was in the 70s a little bit, So, hey, it's good for us, man. I'm happy.
That's what's up, man. Severe, how you feeling, man?
Oh, yeah, man. Feeling good. It's always decent weather out here, man. So, I can't, I can't even, that's a 70s is a normal day for your boy.
Hey.
You feel me? You feel me? But nah, man. Yeah, man. Feeling good, man. Feeling good. Just, my boy Tetaroa, he impressed at his pro day. He did his thing. People was hating. I clearly had the best draft on Sunday.
Don't get him. Here we go.
Things are going good.
It's gonna be a short show, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's get to the chat. Let's shut this guy down real quick.
Yeah, let's get to the chat. Actually, I don't know. I don't even know how I feel about the chat. How they turned their back on me last.
Hey, but here's the thing, though, Severe. Like you talk about the weatherman being born and raised in Southern California. I'm telling you, when I moved to Texas and was coaching football in Texas, I didn't know how I was going to handle the heat, to be honest. Like playing football in Southern California for as long as I did, when it started to peak over 85, you'd see a grown man cry a little bit. Because I'm like, you've got to be kidding me, especially if it feels like a away game in the Valley. And it's going to be like in the 90s. Yeah. Oh, man. It was brutal. It was brutal. Yeah. I mean, moved to Texas. I went through it, coached some football in the heat. It's fine. But it's one of those sayings as a coach. You sit there and you go, I'm never going to tell you to do something that I haven't done myself.
Yeah.
I've never ran laps at 104 degrees. So it's like, damn, okay, I can't say that.
85% humidity in some spots. Well, Texas is probably dry, but in some spots, man, in the South, the humidity.
Oh no. Humidity was still nasty. It was still nasty, because I was in Northeast Texas, just north of Dallas.
Oh,
okay. It was still nasty up there. Forget all that noise. But yeah, no, it was bad. But I hope you enjoy that weather. But yes, here in the Vegas area, man, it's about 65, man. That's beautiful. I can't deny it. But we're gonna get to the chat in just a second. Just so you guys know, we're gonna talk about some of the new names. There's a linebacker that the Raiders brought in to talk with. We'll talk about him. I got a little bit of feedback on him. We're gonna talk about Darnay Holmes. We're gonna talk about a former Raider that went over to the Chargers. We'll talk about him real quick. But not a whole lot of. Oh, and we re-signed or brought back a defensive lineman that's going to potentially be a depth piece. So we'll bring him up, talk about him. And then we'll talk about our current roster. So I'm going to bring up the roster just so we kind of see what it looks like right now. And then we'll take a look at the free agents. And if there's any other free agents that we want to take a look at moving forward, hopefully the Raiders either have them on their radar prior to the draft. We'll take a look at that. And we'll obviously do our segments. We'll do our start them, bench them, cut them, have fun with it. And so just so you guys do know, as we kind of get into this, one of the things we appreciate everybody rocking with us, jumping in, viewing. But one thing that we definitely want to do is we want to say, we just want to show our appreciation to all the subs and our subscribers. One way we can do that is in order to kind of get into the chat. And when we do that start them, bench them, cut them segment, it's a lot of fun. So definitely you got to rock with us on that. But in order to get into the chat, you got to hit that sub button. You got to hit that subscriber button. And then it's about a 5-minute wait time before you can jump in. And so make sure you do that if you want to jump in with that segment, man, because it's a lot of fun. But we definitely like to go back and forth with the chat. We definitely appreciate you, but just one way of us just showing our appreciation to the chat and showing a little bit of love. So we definitely appreciate it. But if you guys, again, if you didn't catch me in the beginning, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and that like button. I got Chris Protect Show podcast as well as the Severe Raider. I'm 805 Raider Real Talk Raider Nation. So we appreciate all you guys in the building. With that being said, let's say what's up to the chat, man. Taino, appreciate you pulling up with us, man. Appreciate you. Charles Wong in the building. Nada, what's happening? Dre, always good seeing you. Ella Gam, sunny weather. I'm with you. Obviously, Severe is enjoying it. Taddy in the building. What's going on? Let's see. Raiders Allegiance. What's happening, man? You had a good live earlier. I was able to tap in a little bit with it. But if you guys don't know, go hit up Lunatic, Raiders Allegiance. Make sure you guys go show support over there. P-Ring, what's going on? What's happening? Appreciate you. Let's see. We got more Dark Jader in the building. Appreciate the likes, brother. Appreciate you.
Brother.
Jake Long, what's happening? Appreciate you pulling up.
Oh, man,
Luis in the building as well. Appreciate you checking in. Raider Hawaii, always good seeing you. Let's see. I want to make sure I don't. Let's see. I think I said what's up, Jake Long. I think I did, but if I didn't, appreciate you coming through. Let's see. Huey P, what's happening, man? Appreciate you pulling up.
What's up, brother? Steve
checking in. Good seeing you. Navy vet, salute to you, man. Appreciate you. John James, what's happening? Raiders through Chris, what's going on, man? Appreciate you pulling up. Let's see. We still got people rolling. All right. Let's see. Sean Johnson, always coming through, man. Appreciate you pulling up. Let's see. You said Raiders running back Travion Henderson, Dylan Sampson, Scatterboo, Devin Neal. Did this based off of 5 categories: rushing ability, breaking tackles, receiving ability with hands. Man, I think you trying to break it down. We appreciate you. Hey, I think what we're gonna do is we may not.
One guy had 3 of those running backs in his mock draft.
Hey,
I'm just saying, 3 of them of the 5.
It's okay. I need 3. I need 3. I
didn't need 3. All I gotta say is, hey, I think what we're gonna do is I think we're going to dedicate Sundays to mock drafts. All right. Because again, we're doing one.
Did you have Kenneth Grant, though?
In the second round, I believe. He's
about to get bullied. I ain't worried about him.
Man. Oh, man. I'm taking notes, man. I'm taking notes. Boy.
Hey, let me get to the chat. You guys calm down over there. Let's go. Jamal, what's happening? Man, what's going on?
Billy D in the building. What up, Billy D?
What's happening? Daniel Kim, appreciate you pulling up. Mava, what's good? Let's go. All right. Yeah, we got everybody else talking about running backs. Jake Long, you talking about Raiders should take Caleb Johnson, Trevion. I took Trevion. I got him.
My guy too, man.
So yeah, man. So I appreciate everybody pulling up. Again, just so you guys know, if you guys are jumping in, if you guys are new to the channel or what have you, if you want to shoot the comments in, just hit that sub button. All right. Again, it's just our way of saying appreciation to all of our subscribers. It's one way of doing it. And hopefully subscribers, hopefully you guys do appreciate that, because we definitely appreciate you. And if you are a new one to the channel and you subbed, hit that hashtag new one. I think that's what we're going to do. Hit that hashtag new one. So we do know that you're new in the building, and we could definitely give you a shout out. But as I pull stuff up, make sure you hit that hashtag Raiders, and then either a question or a comment. It catches my eye, because sometimes when we get over 300, 400, 500 in the building, the chat goes flying, man. It's tough, but I definitely want to show my appreciation to everybody that either has a question or wants to say what's up. So let's do this real quick. I do want to, in the very beginning, let's see, I'm going to do this. In the very beginning, I want to make sure that everybody kind of knows what's going on and what's happening. And so just so you guys know, if any of you are in Southern California, driving distance, May 17th, Saturday, May 17th, Raider Nation summer kickoff. We're all going to try to make it. I know I'm going to be there. Chris going to try to pull up. Severe's going to pull up, the whole 9. We're going to try to do a little bit of meet and greet, but it's a massive Raider Nation get together. All right. Just so you guys know, nothing but Raider fans, Raiders, Crusaders, and IG puts it together, and he invites current Raider players where you can buy a ticket and potentially get a signing picture with them, the whole 9, shake their hand. And so, but it's nothing but Raider vendors, the whole 9. It's a family friendly environment. It's going to be a bunch of carnival type games for the kids and stuff like that. And so again, May 17th, Saturday, May 17th, Bakersfield, California, Raider Nation summer kickoff. If you guys are going to pull up, man, hit us in the chat. Let us know, or hit us up on our socials, on Instagram, IG, the whole 9, Twitter. Let us know you're going to pull up so we can take a look out. But at the same time, it's just a way for us to kind of put a name to face, and say what's up and show appreciation for everybody that checks in with us. So again, Raider Nation summer kickoff. Let us know if you're going to tap in with that. So again, appreciate everybody coming through. let's do this. We're going to start off first with the signing that actually just happened I think it was yesterday. And I'm going to go ahead and bring it up real quick. And that is, let me grab it. Oh, no. We're going to start with the linebacker that's in the building, right? That was reported that we are bringing in to talk with. And let's see, that is Christian Ellis. And so I'm going to say what's up to people in just a second. Appreciate everybody coming through. But that's Christian Ellis. We have a linebacker. Obviously, we need some linebacker help. All right, we at least need depth at the very minimum. You know, obviously, we know somebody doesn't have a lot of trust in a boy named Tommy. But at the end of the day, you know, we definitely need to address this linebacker room, whether it be through free agency or it is through the draft. And so, as you guys can see, the Raiders hosted linebacker Christian Ellis today. That was actually yesterday. And so Ellis, formerly with the Patriots, got a lot of playing time last year because of an injury to that linebacker core. And so he jumped in, got some playing time. So chat, let me know what your thoughts on. Hit that hashtag Raiders and let me know your thoughts on Christian Ellis. But I believe as it stands right now, I don't know what the exact term is, but if we offer him a contract, which is an upwards of $3+ million, the Patriots have the opportunity within 72 hours to match that and bring him back. And so obviously the Patriots have a decent cap space over there. They've been splashing in free agency, so I don't know what their cap space looks like right now. But, you know, I like the kid. I did a little bit of research on him. I started looking at him a little bit, but Severe, I'll throw it to you first, man. What's your thoughts on Christian Ellis as it stands right now?
Yeah, man. We definitely need some more bodies at linebacker, which is ironic because last year we had all the linebackers. You know, we had I think we carried like 7 or something on the roster, so or more than that. So we definitely can use some more bodies over there. From what I heard, man, he is physical. He's a thumper. Seems like he's pretty athletic as well. So still fairly young, only 26 years old. So I definitely would take a flyer on him, even if it's just a situation where we sign him to an offer sheet and, you know, New England ends up matching it. You know, you at least got to take that chance, right? You know, because even if you don't, either way, if you don't sign him to the offer sheet, you don't get him anyway. So might as well just take that risk, sign him to the offer sheet. We still have plenty of cap space to play with, so it's not like it's going to be tying up a whole bunch of money. So I would love to bring the guy in.
Yeah. So, Chris, any quick thoughts?
So I didn't get a chance to do a whole bunch of research on him, but from what I saw, he's another effort guy, you know, high work ethic. He's kind of known for, you know, hustling on every play, just kind of relentless effort. He also has, you know, some versatility to him. He played both inside and outside backer. You know, he brings a lot of, you know, he brings some strengths to the special teams. And, you know, like we were saying, definitely physical and aggressive. So, you know, definitely can't have too many of those guys, man. So that's good to hear. I think he does struggle in pass coverage a little bit. You know, that's just the area of improvement. But overall, man, you cannot have enough, you know, high motor guys in your linebacker room. So I'll take all that's out there.
I'm with you, and I'm going to give you my take in just a second, but I'm going to say what's up to everybody else popping in with us. Dixon, Sider, what's happening, man? Appreciate you pulling up. Myra in the building. We're going to see you in Bakersfield. I think we know that. But anybody else want to rock with in Bakersfield, let us know. Dub Raider, what's happening? Everybody make sure you guys go hit up Dub Raider. Check out his channel. I actually did a little bit of interview with him yesterday and broke that down, so I appreciate the opportunity from him. But at the same time, make sure you guys go hit up Dub Raider. Show him some love. And I know, Chris, you do a show with him on Saturdays, or at least drops on Saturdays.
Yep.
So fire content. Make sure you guys go hit him up. Desert Raider in the building. Appreciate you. Good seeing you. Pull up. And Super Omnicron, what's going on? Good seeing you. MGs, what's happening? Again, just a reminder for everybody popping in that's new. The chat, if you want to get involved in the chat, make sure you hit that sub button. It's just our way of saying thank you and showing our appreciation to all our subscribers. But we want everybody involved. We appreciate you viewing. But at the same time, we definitely want to show love to the supporters and subscribers of the channel. So, and we're going to get into that segment in just a second with the cut 'em or the start 'em, bench 'em, cut 'em. It's a lot of fun. And so, Sean Ellis, appreciate all the stats, man, you're throwing. And So here's my thing on Ellis is I went and I took a look at him. Again, not a deep dive like I usually do, because one of the things that I like to do as it relates to watching players is I first take a look at their highlights. And if something really triggers me, if something kind of sparks my interest, then I'll go and watch full game film. Because highlights are highlights, right? It makes everybody look good. But if you see certain things that stand out, then it makes me do a bigger deep dive to get a true understanding of what the kid is. And here's my thing. I started watching his film a little bit, and like Severe to your point, and I think Chris, you mentioned it too. Like, I mean, he's a downhill linebacker. He's gonna come get you. But what's surprising is usually when you find a true downhill linebacker, they don't have pure athleticism at the same time. And the kid looks very athletic as well. He can be that sideline to sideline type of linebacker that we all know Pete Carroll likes. And so he's got a motor. So even if you do bring him in and if you offer that contract and he does come over this way, at a very minimum, I think you have a solid special teams player. And with the new kickoff rule, you need it. You need as many solid linebackers. That's why I love bringing back Myalga, because Myalga is a good, solid special teams player. That's kind of versatile. And so you look at this kid, he blitzes extremely well. He sheds blocks, and that's one of the things I like to look at linebackers, right? We don't want a Tyree Wilson where you're an unblocked Hall of Famer, right? Like you, even though some of those highlights, you see them and they shoot the gap well, but they're untouched. You want to see it when they have obstruction, right? You want to see them be able to get through blocks. You want to see them kind of have that transition or that transaction with some of those offensive linemen to see how does he handle that. And he does very well, even when he's blitzing, getting off of blocks, engaging with the offensive lineman and being able to kind of get skinny at times. He does a very good job. And so I think he's actually a very underrated name. And if we bring him in, and I'd love to see us offer him at $3 million, if you sign him for a 1 year, $3 million contract, and the Patriots don't match that offer and we bring him over, I'll actually be pretty stoked, because we have a very light linebacker room right now. Again, I hope we address it in the draft, because we obviously Landon, we brought in Landon from the Steelers. That's just one piece of the puzzle. Patrick Graham will play two on the field a lot, and so we need that second guy. Tom Eichenberg just doesn't seem like he's the guy, or he's got a lot of making up to do. But bring this kid in for competition and potentially sit him next to a Landon. That would be pretty nasty to be dead honest. So I'm pretty stoked. I'd like to see him have a shot. So just when we were saying we should sign Christian Ellis, yeah, at least take a stab. I'm with you. Raider Hawaii man, give him a contract give him a contract that New England will refuse, $3.54 million. And so I'm with you. I would give him a little bit more. And again, I don't know what New England's salary cap situation looks like, because they have splashed a little bit. I'd say give him a little bit more and try to bring him in, because we definitely need it. Deshaun Johnson, 73.9 coverage grade. He actually looked decent in coverage. He looked decent in coverage. Again, I got to do a little more deep dive, but he looked decent in coverage. So, super. You're saying Christian Ellis had decent production in New England, brother of Caden Ellis of the Falcons, son of ex-Lions Luther Ellis. Got it. Okay, appreciate the background, man. Tyene, you're saying vet linebacker's priority was Spillane gone, but slim pickings for the money. Yeah, but I think if we bring this kid in, it might be pretty nasty. Let's see. All right, Luis, man. Hey, Jonas Savanea. That's my guy. If the draft works a certain way, I'd love to get that kid in the second round. But yeah, guard, or he's a tackle, push him down to guard. That would be mine. So, but cool. All right, that kind of breaks him down. Guys, as I transition to the next one, any last thoughts on this guy, Severe? I'll shoot it to you.
Nah, man. Like I said, it'd be a really solid signing. If for nothing else, than having more bodies out there for special teams. You know, he's a guy that's downhill. You always want some physical, athletic guys on your teams, whether it be punt or a kick. He's a guy. I think he was like also one of the blockers on the kick team or kick return team as well. So you know he can not only can he can play, basically all phases of special teams. So that's something that's important. So yeah, man, I think it'd be a solid signing if we can make it happen.
Yeah, Chris, any final thoughts?
Yeah, kind of same with me, man. Again, I really like the versatility of them. Being able to play inside or out. And again, one thing that you're going to always hear me preach about is those guys with, that high motor, effort guys. So, someone like him just out there is not going to give up, flying to the ball, whether it's on special teams or if he has to be in some type of rotation on the field. So, I can't see how this could be a bad thing.
Yeah, no, exactly. I'd love to see him bringing in Raiders for Chris. You're saying, would you pay Ellis $5 million? I got to look a little more into the film, but because we're so light in that linebacker room, I'd be willing to do it. We haven't had too many massive splashes. Geno Smith is really our splash.
Yeah, like $5 million. That's more than Butler.
At that point, you traded him for Caleb Von Chasen. That's not a trade. That's not a trade I like.
Not necessarily. I mean, because again, did Caleb Von Chasen, did he even want to be here? Did he want to go start somewhere? It's like, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like that's where it's like, because we, as it stands right now, if we don't make any more moves in free agency, obviously you have the June 1st, post June 1st cuts.
Then we get Roberts for 3.
We got Roberts for 3.
You Landon? Yeah. Like 3.5 or something like that.
Yeah. So 5 might be. I mean, I don't know about that.
And so the thing is that I don't know when New England has to pull the trigger, to be honest.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those things where if it's still available after the draft, maybe, and you don't nail on some of your guys and you still need some depth or you need some competition, maybe a starter, then you pull the trigger. And so, but again, I got to go a little bit deeper into just this film to know, is he worth taking a stab, knowing that we need some linebacker depth and some help a little bit. Raider, why you're saying I want to see Amari Gainer. I think we all want to see Amari Gainer a little bit more, but kind of remains to be seen what he's got. Jake Long, you're saying, me too, he's fast and can hit. I'm with you on that. What's happening? The 805 Raider in the building. What's going on? Appreciate you pulling up. Let's see. I knew there was another one. John Parker, what's happening? Appreciate you pulling up. Hey, didn't miss much. We just talked about Christian Ellis a little bit, but you didn't miss our fun segment. Start them, bench them, cut them. We're going to do it right after this one. So, guys, if you guys new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that sub button so you can get in on it, so you can get in that chat. We have fun with it. Let's go. Tyler, you're saying physicality and tackling is a common denominator with Christian Ellis. It is. If that's who you're talking about, and I think that's who it is. It is 100%.
I think you're talking about with all of the guys we brought in, whether that be Lonnie,
they all are,
Landon, and if we do bring him in, I think all those guys are. We've all heard the same thing. Those guys are physical, downhill players that can hit, and are sound tacklers.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So let's get to the next one real quick. Let's go. This is going to be quick, but just to throw it out there, Andre James is over with the Chargers now. Good luck. I mean, I hope to see him starting. That's all I got to say. If he's starting, then Christian Wilkins.
Yeah, I'm about to say, imagine Christian Wilkins or even Adam Butler.
Adam Butler don't have a field.
Adam Butler will give him work.
So please tell me he's going to be the starter. But we don't need to talk too much about it. Andre James, he's off to the Chargers. And so, again, would love to see him starting, to say the least. And MG saying, can Ellis cover? Based on what I saw, again, not deep dive, I think he's okay in coverage. He looks extremely athletic. One thing I will mention, sorry, I don't mean to kind of backtrack, but Rafa, what's happening? Appreciate you coming through. Guys, make sure you guys show some support. So show some love to Rafa as well. Go over to his channel. And Tyone, yes, 8-sack day. Let's see Andre James pull up on there and be that starter. Well, one thing I will say about what I watched on film with Christian Ellis is that when we would break down film on Tuesdays, and the one thing that I didn't like about Spillane a little bit is he wasn't as physical when guys would cross his face in coverage, right? The amount of times I'd love to see
off his route.
Exactly. Yeah. Reroute him. Get a little physical. Don't let someone cross your face. Don't give him a free ride.
That's a good point.
Christian Ellis.
He'll hit you.
He's going to reroute your ass, and he showed it a handful of times when I was watching him a little bit in pass coverage. Anytime someone wanted to cross his face, he was trying to reroute him, and he still had the ability to reroute and get to another drop, which was very, very, very just interesting to watch. And so definitely loved watching it. All right. Yes.
So he was who did he start off with?
Who? I think the Eagles, I think.
Oh, the Eagles, and then the Patriots. How long was he at the Patriots?
3 years, I think. No, he was with the Patriots last year. He was with the Eagles.
Oh, just last year. Okay. I was just trying to see who all he got coached by. I mean, just what coordinators.
I think he started with Minnesota. I think he was there 2021. And then he was on the practice squad there. Then I think they waived him. Then the Eagles picked him up, and he was there from late 2021 to 2023, and then last year the Patriots picked him up, and then he was there last year.
All right.
So, all right. So we kind of went through those. There's a couple others that we definitely want to get through, and so we're going to do that. But chat, we're going to do it. Start them, bench them, cut them. We're going to have a little bit of fun with this one. Guys, make sure, again, if you're new to the channel, you're not a sub yet, in order to kind of get in on this one, you got to hit that sub button. But again, it's just to show appreciation to our subscribers. I think there's about a 5-minute wait period to kind of get on, but we'll do another segment of this later in the show. So make sure you guys hit that sub button, check in with us, man. We definitely appreciate it. So let's have fun. Okay. Start them, bench them, cut them. Now, when you see the names, there's going to be A, B, and C. Put it in order. A, you're going to start, or first letter, you're going to start. Second letter, you're going to bench. Third letter, you're going to cut. Put it up in the chat however you want. But remember, when you see these players, it's in their prime. It's not on the front end, not on the back end. It's purely in their prime. So chat, make sure you guys get in on the fun, and I'll bring you up. So let's go. Start them, bench them, cut them. We got DeMarco Murray on the far left. We got Arian Foster in the middle. We got Le'Veon Bell on the far right. Chat, let me hear it. Start them, bench them, cut them. I love the reactions. You know what, chat? Let me know if you have the same reactions as my guys.
Arian Foster was so cold. I used to love how he ran. I used to love how that dude ran, man.
I know.
Yeah, he was cold. I remember he cooked us one year. I want to say, I think the one year he played, he cooked us.
Like that up style running. Oh man,
East Coast first. Let's go. He was quick. CBA.
I might do that too. I might do
Steve's BCA.
Man,
CBA.
you know what?
But Le'Veon was so nasty too.
Yeah.
I'm easy in the building. Good seeing you, man. BCA. I mean, see, and Le'Veon was just his unique running style.
Yeah.
Is what was so hard.
His patience was just
crazy.
He never stopped. Yeah, he literally would stop and start walking.
Yeah, like that was literally me playing defense the majority of my life. That would have been the most frustrating thing, because you think you got angles covered, and next thing you know, bang, just pops left or pops right, and it's before you even know it. So yeah, his running style was crazy. But DeMarco Murray, prior to going to the Eagles,
he was cold. Yeah,
was nasty.
Cold.
There's a reason why. Now the Eagles obviously fell off, but Raider Dre, appreciate you coming through. CBA.
Because he won the rushing title. What, 1 year?
He won the rushing title.
Yeah. Just be. I'm taking one guy. Billy Davis, CBA. All right. EC, good seeing you, man. FBA, what's going on?
I don't know, man. Because it was some years that I thought Arian was just unstoppable, man.
I know. And he was
I'm going CBA, but man, it's tough leaving DeMarco off of there. He didn't do it long enough.
See, I'm not tripping on DeMarco. I just keep going back and forth between Arian.
Were you starting?
Yeah, I just man. I just really just love how he ran, man, because it just seemed like he was just like high knees, kind of ran up
Exactly.
a little bit. It
George.
just, but
He
yeah,
was
that
a-
Le'Veon patience is special,
Wait,
bro. That
One
was
thing about
special.
Arian, I want to say he was hurt a lot though.
Who
He
Arian?
was.
He
Yeah,
was hurt
no,
a
he
lot.
did. He was.
Remember, we're just
Yeah, but I
prime.
was trying to think just
We're just
prime
prime
though.
work,
That's
though.
what yeah.
Yeah.
We're just prime work. But like,
I'm
and
gonna go
that's the hard
CBA.
part.
I'm gonna go CBA.
CBA, because like the hard part about Arian Foster, because he was so smooth.
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 I mean, and it was any time like he was that type of guy. Even in Houston, it's like when he touched the football, he could be gone.
Man.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He was an undrafted guy, right? Undrafted out of Tennessee.
Actually, I think
Out
he
of
was.
Tennessee, yeah.
I think he was undrafted. If not, he was a super late pick.
Yeah, he wasn't a high pick.
Yeah, he wasn't high. I remember when he got on. It was like some other dudes got hurt. Was it old boy that got hurt? Yeah, what's my man's name? He was a nice back for them too. It's a small guy. He's a slim guy.
For Houston?
For the Texans. Dang, what was his name?
I'm blanking on it.
He was like a speed shifty dude.
Chat's gonna get it for us.
Damn, what's my guy's name?
I don't know.
I want to say was CJ Spiller? Was it CJ Spiller?
I feel like
Lamar Miller.
Maybe Lamar. Maybe it was Lamar Miller. Maybe Lamar. Damn, I can't remember.
I don't know. I remember CJ Spiller. I mean, because he was Bills. I think he was with the Texans at one point.
It wasn't Spiller. I can't remember. It was somebody else. Maybe it was Lamar Miller. I can't remember. Nah, it wasn't that though. Nah, it was somebody else. That's somebody else.
Louis said putting McFadden. I don't know, man. I don't put McFadden in this same group.
Jonathan Wales was Wales there, but now he was more of a.
McFadden was a bad man. I just don't put McFadden in the same group.
Oh no,
that'd be tough.
If he would have stayed healthy
for me.
If you'd have stayed healthy, yeah. If you'd stay healthy, for sure.
But even so, I mean, we're talking prime, right? So even if he was like at his healthiest.
At his healthiest? Oh, see, but he was never.
It's
really
such a short window.
Yeah,
I would have cut McFadden easily because he just had no strength in his legs. I'm sorry. You chop his ass down so easily. My times that someone just breathed on his legs, he fell apart.
McFadden will run you over too, though, and that stiff arm was stupid.
Stiff arm was good, but
we didn't really get to see his prime because like when he was getting busy, then he got hurt because he would have easily led the league in rushing in what 2010 or 2010. He would have led the league in rushing.
805's women. 805, appreciate you.
Steve Slayton was the guy I'm talking about.
It was Slayton.
Steve Slayton, yeah.
Steve Slayton. All right. Yeah.
Slayton was cold.
So look, here's my thing. I think I'm going BCA. I think I'm starting Arian Foster.
I ain't mad at that.
I ain't mad either. I'm not mad one bit.
Because I gotta go BCA. That's where I'm rocking. Arian Foster was just such a good all-around back. I mean, he had the power behind him too to kind of run through. He was a big boy. I mean, he ran like a big boy.
Yeah.
Le'Veon was just his finesse was just nasty. So
Le'Veon would catch the ball off the backfield. He was a receiving threat too.
He was.
He would block. Foster was that's tough, man. That's a good one. And not to slight Murray because Murray was nice.
Murray was nice.
Exactly. It's not to do that, but yeah. So I'm going BCA. So yeah. Yeah. No. Hey, I'm glad that was a good one.
I was going back and forth. I was going back and forth.
Alfred Blue was nice too, though. Alfred Blue was nice too for the Texans.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Ben Tate. Tate was another one.
Oh, I remember Ben Tate.
Oh, I remember him.
That's true. Yep. All right, cool. Hey, just chat. Make sure you know if you guys are new. You know what I'm saying? Like we do this every single.
Le'Veon fell off because on his own, man.
Huh. Fancy.
He just said Le'Veon fell off fast. I'm like,
he did. He did it to himself.
Yeah, I was about to say that was his own, man.
All right. So next up, all right. Later, guys, we're going to do another segment of that, but then also we're going to tap in. We're going to check in basically with our current roster. I'm going to bring up the roster, and then we'll evaluate kind of what the roster looks like as it stands right now. And then we're also going to take a look at free agency. Are there any other names at certain positions that we want to take a look at in hopes that the Raiders just have an eye on them moving forward? But next up, it was dropped yesterday that Darnay Holmes is back. Darnay Holmes, he's back in the building. We re-signed him. And so chat, let us know, what are your thoughts on us bringing back Darnay Holmes? If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that sub button so you get included with this whole thing. We just say appreciation to all of our subscribers, so you guys can get in on the chat as well. And so let me know. Chris, I'll throw it to you first, man. What's your thoughts on Darnay Holmes being re-signed, coming back with the silver and black?
Yeah, I'm cool with it. I wouldn't mind seeing an upgrade there, but he provided some depth when we had some injuries down the line, so I'm not too upset. I'm sure the money wasn't too much. So he's a guy that knows Patrick Graham's system, so I'm not tripping too much, but I imagine, I still want to upgrade. So I'll hopefully we bring in some people that will have to push him and challenge him for a roster spot.
Yeah, I'm with you, John. James, you're saying rotational piece. MGs, you're saying, why do we bring him back? In my opinion, Chris, to your point, rotational piece, but two, Nate Hobbs is out, so we need a nickel spot. We need somebody to compete in that nickel position. So that's kind of my feedback on that one. Severe, man, what's your thoughts? Darnay Holmes coming back.
Yeah, as you said, man, we need somebody at the spot right now, at the very least, to provide some competition. As Chris said, knows the system, familiar with Patrick Graham, familiar with this roster. Was here last year. He's a tough guy, smart football player. A little bit on the smaller side in terms of height, but he's still a physical player. So not a bad signing. Obviously you want to upgrade at that position, but if he's a guy that's going to be out there, he's solid, but unspectacular.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. Kind of taking my takes for me. To be honest, Steve, you're saying depth piece like the other free agent signings. I think we're doing it right by signing them for a short time and replacing them in the draft. I definitely think you got to find somebody in the draft that could be a slot corner, or at least compete for that. I agree with you. There's a couple guys that you could maybe target later in fourth, fifth round potentially. And Tyune, you're saying I think Chin will take Hobbs' spot. That's one thing. Look, I don't know if Chin could be a slot corner. I think one of his downfalls is his ability to cover. I mean, to be able to track one of the speedy, quick receivers on that offense, I just don't think Chin would be able to do that. I think we're going to use Chin very similar to Nate Hobbs, where he's more of a box safety. You know what I'm saying? And he might be locking up with some of the tight ends because, and I'll tell you, if Chin has to work on the slot corner position and take on those slots, man, that's going to be tough work for him, to be dead honest. That's just my opinion. But Tyune, giving it a C grade. Raider Allegiance, appreciate you, man. Chin is a Swiss Army knife, right? I mean, he can do a lot, but I think where he falls off is in just his overall coverage ability. That's where I think it's going to be tough, man. But he'll come downhill and he'll take your head off. That's for goddamn sure. So that's Darnay Holmes, bringing him in. And yeah, I think it's more competition, and we definitely need more players that can compete at that slot corner position, because with Hobbs out, we don't have too many. And here's actually one question is, with the guys that we've brought back or we've signed off of free agency, do you think any of them might be competing for that slot corner? Because the other two corners that we brought in, they're taller corners, right? The guys that Pete Carroll likes to have on the outside, playing outside corner. Do you think that any of the guys that we've brought in through free agency can compete at that slot corner position? Obviously, you can include Chin in that if you disagree with me, but Severe, do you think those guys can compete for that slot corner?
Maybe Lonnie. Maybe that's the only one I can think of. I know he's kind of kind of transitioned back and forth between safety and corner throughout his career, but we've been seeing in the NFL recently where teams are taking guys that played safety in college and play them in the nickel. Like off top of my head, Brian Branch is one that automatically comes to mind. He was a guy that was more of a safety in college, and he's been playing essentially a nickel in the NFL. So I have to kind of see what Lonnie's movement skills are, but that's of the people we've picked up thus far. That would be the only person I would think would even be able to compete at that spot.
Yeah, Chris, were you thinking the same thing?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing with him. And also, I know they kind of toyed with the idea of even Palomar, a little bit there. I know when we had some injuries, maybe something to look at just because he's athletic enough, he's long. But yeah, I think Lonnie probably makes the most sense right now.
And I'm with you. They tried Palomar at the slot corner position last year, or at least they were playing around with it. And again, he's another tall, lengthy guy. I just don't know
it's tough.
if he can stay with the quick, fast slot receivers. Assassin's Creed, appreciate you popping in with us, man. You said Andre Holmes should have got more use out of him.
Blast from the past.
Yeah, not a bad suggestion, you know what I'm saying? But they decided to go with Darnay, and then let's see, Luis, you're saying who's pass covering Travis Kelce? Man, Chin could be the guy, physical guy that can get underneath your face mask and pop you a little bit. Raider Allegiance, you're saying Jack Jones maybe in the slot, man. I would have maybe said that at the beginning of last year, but he is shown to be so damn undisciplined. I can't do it. I mean, his man coverage throughout the season just showed that his eyes, he just doesn't have good eye discipline. He peaks in that backfield so goddamn much that's where he loses guys almost within the first 3 steps. And so
he got some Marcus Peters in him a little bit, a little too risky at times.
Yeah. And now could Pete Carroll help him with that and become more disciplined? He can. So he's Jack Jones. His athleticism is like the prototypical slot corner you want. He's athletic as hell, and he can match up with a lot of those slot receivers. But you got to be extremely disciplined. You got to be extremely smart because those receivers got 2, 3, 4-way goes where they could basically, get to any point of the field because they're lining up in the slot. So you just got to be disciplined as hell. So could Pete Carroll help with that? Without question. MG's going to say, would you play Jacorian Bennett in the slot? I'd love to see him continue what he found success with last year, but Chris, I'll throw it to you, man, because that's your boy. Would you want to see him possibly in the slot?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to see him in the slot. I think he can play it. But with some slight injury concerns at times, I'd want him to kind of stay on the outside until we draft Will Johnson in the first round. We'll still have Jacorian, man up on the other team's best corner, and just go ahead and play on the outside. I think he's made a good year or two improvement. So I like to say him. I like to keep him there personally.
Yeah, I'd love to see the consistency. Severe, anything on that?
Same. I mean, it all depends. If he's the guy that's best suited to play it. The only issue is that because a lot of times what teams will do is that they'll have, their base coverage and they'll have 2 corners. And then, if one of their guys is better in the nickel, then they'll slide him inside. And then, and in those sub packages, they'll have him play the nickel and another guy play outside. But now in the NFL, like 75-80% of the time, you're in sub packages. So like essentially, if you're playing nickel, when you're in sub packages, you're essentially just a starter at nickel. So can Jacorian Bennett do it? He's probably the best suited to do it. But as Chris said, just in terms of physically, can he hold up? He's been out twice already. Do you want to kind of put him through that? I think Jack can do it too, man. I think Jack can do it. I think
the tools to do it, or
I think he has the tools to do it. Yeah, I think he has the tools at the athleticism. And you know what?
Is he physical enough though? That's my concern.
I think he can be. I think he can be. And run support is where you would have your biggest concerns with Jack at nickel.
Yeah.
But also I think that like
And
him being
blitzing.
at yeah. But that's how we use Nate. I don't know if we'll if he'll do that a lot
That's
with
true.
somebody that's not Nate. But the thing about playing the nickel is that might actually be something that keeps Jack locked in because there's so much going on. Like you can't wander, and you can't you have to be kind of locked in at all times. So that might be something and it might be a new challenge, something that helps him pick his game up a little bit.
Maybe it's so hard to go based off of what we saw last season when we broke down film and stuff. Man, just he's so undisciplined, it'd be tough. And a lot when you play slot corner, a lot has to understand leverage on that receiver, right? And it's also understanding where's the strength in the formation, what are their tendencies to help you. It's not just being able to guard that guy one-on-one. You have to understand what that team's tendencies are, what that receiver's tendencies are, and you got to do yourself a favor, take that away, and also know where your help is on the defense, right? Where can you leverage knowing that you got help inside or outside? There's so much that goes on, and man, just if he just becomes undisciplined, you're getting burned, which is bad. But Jen Slinger, what's up, man? I appreciate you coming through. We just talked about Christian Ellis in the very beginning, and yes, I'm with you, man. I'd love to see that guy come this way. I think a lot of us kind of agree, but depends on what the price tag is. But I think a lot of us agree. Raiders Legions, yeah, he gambles too much. You're right. Can't do that as a any defensive back. But yeah, I'm with you. KY Raider, what's happening? I heard a rumor about potential trading of Vita Vea. Have any of you heard this? Someone in our live on Sunday said that. I haven't seen anything. Have you guys seen anything?
No, I just heard that comment, but yeah, I haven't really heard anything else.
Yeah. So, John Fallon, what's up, man? Appreciate you coming through. Freddie Chavez in the building as well. Good seeing you, man. Appreciate you popping in with us. Guys, if you guys new to the building, make sure you hit that hashtag new just so we know you're new. We appreciate it. But again, one thing that we're doing in order to kind of jump in the comment section, you got to hit that sub button. It's just our way of showing appreciation to all of our subscribers and supporters. So just so you know, once you hit that sub button, there's about a 5-minute buffer until you can kind of get involved. But if you guys are viewing, you're new, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe. I got Chris Protection Show podcast on this side. I got The Severe Raider on this side. I'm 805 Raider, Real Talk, Raider Nation. We appreciate you guys popping through with us on this Tuesday, and we guys will hit you guys on Sunday. And we might make it Sunday mock draft Sunday, however we want to call it. Maybe we'll do our mock drafts and have fun on Sundays. Cole Kevin, the building. What's going on?
You guys are up to it. I don't want to demoralize you guys.
Hey, chat. Appreciate you. I'll keep saying what's up to chat.
I don't want to demoralize you guys every Sunday.
I ain't fooling with you. I ain't fooling with you.
What's happening, Anthony?
I'm doing a mock draft on my own time, man. I don't need no chat.
Felix, what's happening? Trey Taylor, can you cover the slot? I don't think so, but don't quote me on that. I mean, I think he is more of like a box safety, like a Trayvon Merrick. They might have brought him in to potentially replace Trayvon Merrick, to be honest. I just don't see him being that slot guy. Just my opinion. Rosetown, what's happening? Appreciate you coming through. All right. So we'll keep going real quick. Next up, we got another guy we decided to bring back and re-sign. And let me just go and share the screen. And it's Zach Carter. Zach Carter was on our practice squad, and then we decided to bring him back. I don't know if he's on the – I mean, obviously, he's going to be on the – what do we get? 92 players or something like that. He's going to be on the roster. Obviously, we'll see how it plays out. Might get put back on the practice squad, but I'm a Florida fan. And so, obviously, him coming out of Florida – he was a big boy. He was a big body. He could definitely be that short yardage guy if you need him to be. And so I definitely liked him when he played at Florida. So as you guys can see, appeared in 4 games with 2 starts with the Bengals. And then he joined us with the practice squad previously. Prior to that, posted 22 tackles, a career high 1.5 sacks, 2 quarterback hits. and won pass deflection in 12 games with the Bengals and Raiders. He originally entered the NFL draft as a third-round draft pick, 95th overall by the Bengals in the 2025 or 2022 draft. He's a high third-round draft pick. Again, he had a motor on him. That's what I remembered him out of Florida, had a motor on him, and he was just he did a really good job of just not getting pushed off his line. That was the thing. And so he sustained that line of scrimmage. Glad to see him back, as we definitely need some depth. But chat, let me know. Grade this pick 1 to 10. 1 the worst you've ever seen, 10 the best you've ever seen. For myself, I'll rate it. I'm going to give it basically. I'll give it a 4. It's nothing crazy. Doesn't move you at all. It's more of just a depth. He'll compete, and we'll probably see him in preseason around the 3rd and 4th rounds, and we'll see how he does. So I give it a 4. Severe, I'll give it to you first, man. What's your thoughts on this pickup?
Damn, 4. Freddie Chavez gave it. Did he kick y'all puppy or something like that? What did he do?
It doesn't move the needle at all for me. I mean, it's like, I don't even. It is what it is.
I give it a smooth 6. And the guy came in, I want to say his first game out of street clothes. He came in there and got a sack. I think he played solid. As you said, his big body has a motor. Would he end up making the squad? I don't think so. I think he probably ends up as a practice squad guy. But he's a guy that's he can provide some valuable reps in there, and he proved to do so in the past. They brought him back for a reason, so I like it. I like it. If for nothing else than for competition, and he's a high motor guy. Those guys usually raise the temperature in practice, right? That they raise the tempo, because you can't slack against guys like that. So if you catch you slipping, he's gonna make you look bad, and that's exactly what we need. So especially having a young interior offensive line. So he's a guy that's going to challenge Parham, going to challenge Meredith, going to challenge JPJ on every play, and those guys gonna have to bring their hard hat and their lunch pail and come to work every single practice. And I like that.
Yeah, I mean it's good. It's good at the same time. It's like we have Jonah Laulu, right? And I think he is going to be the guy that's going to sit behind Christian Wilkins, Adam Butler, depending on what happens in the draft. And so, I look at this as just a camp body that if he fights and produces, he might make the 53, maybe. But I just look at it as a camp body. So, but I mean, you make good points. Chris, any thoughts on it?
Yeah, I'd give it like a 5. I can't say I love it, can't say I hate it. He's just a guy that, if he comes in fired up and continues to bring that competitive nature, I think he'll do well, with the Pete Carroll team. But just seeing the signing, I can't say I'm like super excited about it. Again, I'm all about upgrading. So, hopefully, we can find someone in the draft or even later in free agency that can be an upgrade of him. I just want to raise the floor at all positions. So, whatever we got to do that.
Yeah, maybe. And we got people, they're around. I'm seeing 5s. Freddie, you're at a 3. Chris Raiders is happening, guys. Everybody, make sure you guys go hit up Chris for Raiders. Make sure you go get over to his channel. Show him some love and support. Him and any Raider Jeff, man, they go live all the time. And you said Luis, you're saying, so that tells me our middle of our defense is still average. Man, it ain't average. The middle.
Yeah,
of the
I'm about to say it ain't even average right now.
Rotational pieces, it remains to be seen. And so the 805, you're saying maybe he takes Jenkins' spot. I don't know if he's necessarily big enough to take Jenkins' spot.
They haven't listed as an end, but I guess that's more of a 3-4 end though.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's a bigger body.
I mean, 6'4", 302. Yeah, definitely not a nose.
No,
yeah. So, but cool, Kev. I don't know if I said what's good, what's happening. I appreciate you pulling through and coming up with us. And so, all right, let's see. Let's see if anybody else is saying what's up about this. Okay. Yeah, I think we're all kind of the same. Severe a little bit higher on them. I'm a little bit lower, and Chris, you right in the middle, and shit, I'm the Florida fan. So, Kevin Lurker, what's happening? Appreciate you. Let's see, and Jensen, you got one. Y'all can just call Severe on the mock draft. Okay, all right.
Jensen Linker knows what's up, man.
I don't even know why I brought that coming up.
This dude knows what's up. This dude's on the ball.
Man, all right. I'm gonna bring up one more. We're gonna talk about one more, and
well, hey, just a shout out to Raider Allegiance. Loon is going to do a Zach Carter jersey giveaway at his next at his next live. So make sure you guys tune in. Get that Zach Carter jersey.
Oh man, okay, all right. This is gonna be the last one, and until we get to the roster and all that stuff. And so John Fallon, you brought it up, and we're gonna talk about it in right now. And Jeff, you in the building? What's happening?
What up, Jeff?
Come through. Make sure you guys go say what's up to Jeff, man. Go check out his channel, show some love, show some support. And Rick L, what's happening? Appreciate you coming up. Man, John Leone coming through. Appreciate you. Yeah. Good seeing you.
Yeah.
What's happening?
All right. So guys, rate this one. Let us know what you think. And there's some talks. Of Pickens potentially being a trade candidate for the Raiders. Now, I don't know if I know it's being thrown out there on social media and all that stuff. And obviously you see a photo getting thrown out there. Here's my thing is rumors are just rumors, right? But we won't touch on this for too long. But again, chat, let me know, would you be willing to trade for Pickens? And if so, what would you be willing to give up to trade for Pickens? Chris, I'll throw it to you first, man. What's your thoughts on this? What's your thoughts on Pickens?
It's tough, man. It's tough because the dude is so talented. And he would give Geno a very good young threat at receiver. I'm really torn with this. I can't lie because it's he could be bad. He could be bad in the locker room. I mean, he's already shown it. The way that Mike Tomlin can handle divas and things like that should be studied. And the fact that, it's, I just don't know how Pickens would be outside of that. I mean, because Pickens is almost as bad as AB was at the Steelers. So I can only imagine once he gets out into another organization how he'll be. Man, I want to say yeah, I'll take him, but I don't, man. I don't think so. Unless Pete can reel him in, but I'm gonna say no. And I like Pickens' game a lot.
Yeah, ready for Chris, man. Rumor mirror. Yes, it is. We ain't gonna spend too much on it, but yes, it is. But we need number one. Rick L just smoke. I bet you it is. I hope it is, to be honest. I'll give you my opinion on it. But Eric Raiders, what's happening? Appreciate you coming through. Raiders White, you said I like the guy out of college, but he's a head case.
Yeah.
That's kind of that you kind of hit the nail on the hit the nail on the head for me on that one. Drummer, bring this one back up. Yeah, back at you. I'm with you. But Taddy, you're saying Pickens could be Geno's Metcalf, I guess. Maybe that would be tough. Castro, I'd give up a third.
Oh,
Cool,
no.
Kev.
I'll give up a third.
Pickens is good, but if you won't listen to Tomlin, I doubt he'll listen to. Yeah, it's true. Very, very true. Luis, you're saying a fifth. Let's see. I don't know who posted that pick, to be honest with you. Chris, you?
Yeah, I think he did. Pickens.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah. Like to me, that's kind of random too. I mean, that's mad random.
It's a picture in black and white too with Tom Brady. That's
right.
Definitely some
so random.
Yeah. Definitely some foreshadowing or some insinuations being made.
Right.
And Severe, I'm gonna throw this one up and then I'll pass it on to you. So, John Fallon, we have not done well with former Steeler receivers. Case in point, AB and two others. So
that's true.
Severe, you're up.
Yeah, man. As I said, man, pre-show, like they ain't gonna get us again. They didn't got us for 2 third-round picks. I'm not about to do it again. We got they fleeced us with Martavis Bryant, the white tiger, and he never did anything with us. And then they really got us. They really got us with AB. They got us good with AB. As you said, I don't know what magic touch Mike Tomlin has with these players where he's able to keep this under wraps, because they think about, like, we didn't hear about anything with AB for years.
Right.
We already hearing about stuff with George Pickens.
Right.
But we already hearing about stuff with him.
Right.
Imagine it was going to be the case he gets outside of those confines.
Exactly.
Oh man, yeah. I don't even want to. It'll be imagine the scraps between him and Jack Jones in practice. Oh dog. Oh my.
Right.
Yeah, man. I don't even want to. I don't even want. Know what? I know what. I'll do this. Okay. I'll do this.
Here we go.
And I hate to do it. I hate to do it because you never want to give up these kind of players, these valuable pieces. Potential building blocks of your franchise.
I already know where you're going with this.
But if they're willing to take Tommy Eichenberg, okay, they take Tommy Eichenberg. I look, and I don't want to. I hate to do it. It's Tommy
hurts my heart.
Thumbs, all right, it hurts my soul to think about this team not having Tommy Two Thumbs on there. All right, that's 2 thumbs down. That's not good. If we all know 2 thumbs down is not good. So, but if they're willing to take Tommy Eichenberg for George Pickens, I'd do that deal. I'd do that deal.
Man, would you throw in a star receiver for us like Sweet Feet?
Man,
Sweeten up the deal. Sweeten up the deal.
They asking too much at that point.
I'll be a receiver for a receiver too. Now, come on, man.
Too much at that point. You want Sweet Feet? You want wide receiver one
now?
That's wide receiver one.
We got plans. We got plans, people.
I can't do it.
Oh, that's fun. Oh man. All right. So look, hey, I promised them we wouldn't spend too much on this. You guys calm down. And so, but look, yeah, it's a hard no. I'd potentially love Tedrow McMillan in the draft if we could even get him at 6 or trade back and still get him. There are some like Savion Williams, would love to take him, but and a lot of people in the chat, they're basically saying, yeah, you minus the antics, he's a damn good receiver. Raider Hawaii, you said you liked him out of college. I really liked him out of college. But you're gonna come in with those antics. I ain't trading for you. I'm sorry. I'm not giving up draft capital. You want a 7th? I don't even know if I'd do that because I don't want that headache in the locker room.
And plus, he's one of those guys that, and when it's time for him to get his payday, he's gonna
act a fool.
He gonna get you for whatever. He gonna want a Jamar Chase type deal, man. So.
Exactly. And then you're gonna let him walk anyway. So what's the point? So. Desert Raider, appreciate you coming through. Steelers always try to fleece us. Yes, they do. Kevin Lurker, what's happening? Raider Nation for life. What's good? Raider Dad in the building. What's going on?
That's true.
Yeah, maybe that picture. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Let's see. All right. So let's do this. So again, yeah, I think it's a hard pass. There's a lot of talent in this draft. But we're going to talk about what our current roster looks like as well as free agency. So that's kind of all the news. Not a lot of news that's dropped so far. You see one?
He said, I'll trade Deuce Gruden for him.
Where's that at? Hold on. Where's that at?
Oh, man. Lunatic, man. He said, I'll trade Deuce Gruden. That's wild.
God damn it. Deuce. All 4'2" of them. I like it. Man. I like it. Okay. So look, before we get into our roster and then free agents, let's do our second one. Let's have some fun with it. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications. You got Chris Tech Show podcast up top, the Severe Raider down below. I'm 805 Raider, Real Talk Raider Nation. We appreciate everybody rocking with us at the same time. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because then you can get involved in the chat. It's just our way of showing some love, showing just appreciation for everybody that does hit that subscribe button wherever you're watching. So we definitely appreciate every single one of you guys, and hopefully you guys appreciate it too. Be dead honest. Ducky the Butcher, what's happening? So let me go ahead and set it up. Let's see. Let's get this next one in. Let's see which one's this one. Let me make sure I'm good. All right. Let me back it up. Okay. For those of you that just popped in, you guys are new. You guys know the deal. I see you, my two. What's good, man? Appreciate you. Dave Lauricia, what's happening? Let's see. And I saw you, Senator 2D. What's happening? All right. Remember, all these guys in their prime. In their prime, rate them, start them, bench them, cut them, put it whatever order that you want to in the chat. I'll see it. I'll bring it up. Start them, bench them, cut them in their prime. All right, let's go. It's another running back one. All right. Sean McCoy. Done. Chris Johnson.
I'm being biased on this one.
Don't be biased. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I gotta do it.
Let's see. All right, we're gonna talk. We're gonna go free agents in a second. What is it?
I think I got it. I think
you got it. All right, chat. What you think? Taddy's the first one in. Taddy's ACB. All right. Okay. ACB. Remember, this is all in their prime, not front end, not back end of their careers, in their prime. Jason Downs, your ACB. So you got LaShawn.
I got mine too.
Chris Johnson. Dunmore Dunn. Taino, you got ACB. All right. Daniel Caps, what's happening? Appreciate you popping in just in time. You got CAB. All right. Chris Johnson up top, starting. LaShawn McCoy on the bench, cutting work done. John Fallon. ABC. I think that's the first cut for Chris Johnson, maybe. I think it's the first cut for Chris Johnson. Cole Kev, CBA. Race for Chris, CAB. All right. M-Easy. All right. Let's see. Chris Raiders, appreciate the super chat, brother. Do we need another diva receiver? Absolutely not. Absolutely not, man.
Those are the best receivers.
But man, I appreciate the super chat, brother. M-Easy. All right, Rick L, CAB. Let's see. Desert Raiders, CAB. Okay, all right. I'll get to the rest of them. Let's see. Chris, what you got?
Yeah, I got to go ACB. Shady's one of my favorite backs. That's one of my guys. I had trouble, going, who I was going to bench, but that season that Chris Johnson had, that was just special. So yeah, I'm gonna do ACB.
ACB. All right. Dave Lauricia.
Work done's cold though. Just because I cut him, work done was fire. He was fire.
He wasn't back too.
Yeah.
Alec M, ACB. Coach Gravy in the building. What's happening? I appreciate you guys.
Gravy.
Make sure you guys go over to Gravy's channel too. Gravy, put your channel in the chat. Make sure you guys go show some love to Gravy as well. Always popping in.
Salute, my guy.
Raider White, CAB. All right. Raiders Legions, ACB. Okay. All right. Assassin's Creed, ACB. Let's see. Christopher Raiders. You go CAB. All right. Dixon, CBA. My two.
I can't see how y'all cut Shady. Shady was so cold.
That's a tough one. But all right, Severe, what's yours?
Yeah, I'm driving the cab. I really want to cut Shady because I just can't stand him.
You don't like his takes.
He's just an idiot. But I just can't stand dude. I don't like anything about him. I don't like how he looks. I don't like how he talks. I don't like the back of his head. I don't like nothing about this dude. Nothing about him at all. But he was a very talented back. So I can't take that away from him. So and Warwick Dunn was like, when I was coming up, Warwick Dunn was one of my favorite players. Like Warwick Dunn was one of my legit favorite players. Him and Jamal Anderson were like two guys. I used to love running back. So
Jamal Anderson, I heard that was Dirty Bird, wasn't it?
Dirty Bird, yeah.
Man, I heard his name in a minute.
So, but yeah, so I'm going CAB, but I hate to cut my dog. And Warwick Dunn he has a great story too. He has a great story.
Great. And he still
Does
does a shit ton after his career within his
Yeah.
community. I think isn't he the one that bought like a shit ton of homes for people?
Yeah, because I think his mom was like killed. The cops said she was killed on duty or something like that, and so he does a lot of stuff in the community. So
Yeah. But let me rewind. Let me rewind for a second. You hate Shady so much,
Man.
you don't like the back of his head. Is that what you
like
said?
That's pure hatred, bro.
Man,
That's pure hatred.
Who
do you hate? Who do you hate more, him or Tommy Eichenberg?
I hate him more. Tommy Eichenberg is trash. Tommy Eichenberg is probably a very delightful person.
Very nice guy.
Sure. He's a very delightful person. Shady, I just can't stand nothing about Shady play at all.
Man, I'll just tell you, like, if someone came up to me, I could care less if you said something to me. But if you came up to me and said, "I hate you so much, I don't like the back of your head,"
no, that's real.
Do something.
That's real.
That's personal shit right there.
That's real.
Man. Damn. Okay, I'm going. Actually, Severe, I'm going the same route. I'm going CAB. Chris Johnson was just nasty.
It was cold. It was cold.
Smooth too. I mean, it's like when we were talking about Arian Foster, the way Chris Johnson ran, and all of them had smooth elements to their game without question, but Chris Johnson was just nasty. So I'm going, I got to go CAB. You know what I'm saying? And so that 2,000-yard season was something to watch. So yeah, Dixon, I can't stand him either. I think Dixon's with you, Severe. Dixon don't like the back of his head either. Dre, your CBA, all right.
I want to do that. The bias in my heart tells me to put it, but I can't. It's all talent. I can't do it.
Yeah, exactly. D805, you're saying only 5-time over 1,000 yards worked. I know it's hard.
But,
he was a bad man.
But he played.
But Najee Harris done went over 1,000 yards 4 times. So it's like, let me try to tell people that 1,000-yard stuff. I don't,
But he played for the Bucs when they ain't have no quarterback really though. So they was a running team. It was just him and Allstott back there.
Yeah, man,
handling business.
Yeah. Where's Lisa? That's why I wear hats. You ain't gonna get access to the back of that head. Saying your CBA. All right, man. Yeah. Taino, you're saying 2,000 rushing yards was like the 6-minute mile until Chris Johnson did it.
Man.
Yeah.
For the 4-minute mile, I think 4 minutes.
Yeah, probably 4-minute mile, right? Jen, damn sure, I said you get a picture come up here, not gonna change. I'm telling you. Severe comes with the good one-liners. I love it. Yes, Ward Dunn did have a great career. You can't doubt it. You can't doubt it, but
it was a beast.
With these three on here, it's tough. It's tough. So, and Luis, I'll get you in. CBA, yeah. All right.
Ward Dunn was nice, man.
He was, man. You can't deny it.
Was he on that Super Bowl team?
Who?
Ward Dunn.
Yeah, I think he was.
Was he?
I'm pretty sure it was. Don't quote me on it.
I don't think he was, honestly.
Was he on the Super Bowl team? I don't remember. I don't think he was there back.
Try to let us know.
They had Keyshawn, Brad Johnson.
Nah, he had just left. He went to the Falcons.
That's what I was thinking.
Is that what happened?
Yeah,
okay.
Just left.
They had didn't they have Pittman?
Michael Pittman. Yeah, Michael Pittman Sr. Yeah, I think they had Pittman. Yeah.
Man. Okay, so now we're gonna jump into those are the two segments again. Everybody, if you're viewing, you're new to the channel, all right, and you hit that sub button, hit that hashtag new one just so you can say what's up, say appreciate it. But again, for everybody that's in the chat right now, we appreciate you guys. That's why we're doing I guess you can call it the sub only chat. It's just our way of showing our appreciation. We appreciate it. But if you want to get involved, hit that sub button. Obviously, if you don't like the content, you can always hit it again and you won't be a subscriber. No hate around this area. So hashtag fresh fish. I appreciate you. I tell you, and so John Fallon, I got some of those names in one. I'm with you. I got. Don't worry, I'm gonna put one together. And I forget who said it. Someone said, put one together that's like the worst of all time. And trust me, I got one of those too. We'll have fun. Who's the shit the worst? All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump over. We're just going to take a look at our roster. All right. Let me blow this up just so everybody can see it. Want to make sure everything's good. All right. Cool. And so let's take a look at the roster, because right after this, we're going to dive into some of the free agents. And we can kind of go back and forth. I got both tabs open. So we can kind of go back and forth, look at the positions, and we look at free agency, or if there's certain position groups that we want to look at to possibly address. And so here's the thing is, before we do a complete deep dive into this free agency, obviously Geno Smith has not been signed. And we're taking a look at the depth chart. The contract details are not in. And we talked about it on Sunday. It's a little weird. I'll be honest. You think if Geno was going to come over with Pete Carroll because of the relationship, they would have worked out some sort of numbers. And so I'm not going to say that I think I know what's going on. I have no goddamn clue. The only thing I can assume, pure assumption, and we mentioned this on Sunday, is one, Spytek's run the ship. Is Pete Carroll run the ship? I just don't know who's really driving the car when it comes to the numbers. But the one guy that I think may have potentially skewed this whole thing is the report came out that Geno Smith won 40 to 45 million, right? And with all the contracts, that would have put him middle tier, maybe higher middle tier, around that, maybe 12 to 14 rank type money. I would have liked to see him around that 35. That would have put him right at 15th to 16th ranked quarterback money as the contract started to come out. In my opinion, I think what might have skewed this a little bit is Sam Darnold's contract. Sam Darnold didn't get as much as everybody thought he was going to get.
Yeah.
They were thinking he was going to get 40 million. He ended up getting something around 35. And if Geno Smith is still stuck on 40, I don't think you're going to pay Geno Smith more than Sam Darnold. As much as I think he probably deserves at least the same at minimum, because he's got more body of work to go off of. Sam Darnold has 1 year, basically. I wonder if that is a hang-up at this point, is just the true number. Geno might want more, but because of what Sam Darnold signed for, there might be a little bit of a road bump. Again, pure speculation, but Severe, I'll throw it to you first, man. What's your thoughts on maybe what the holdup possibly is with Geno?
Yeah, I honestly don't really know. I don't. That has to be, like, it had to be baked into the cake. Excuse me, it had to be baked into the cake what he was asking for, because that's the whole reason Seattle decided to move him, because they came to him with essentially the contract they gave to Sam Darnold. Geno Smith slammed the door in their face, and then they pursued, they started to look for suitors elsewhere. So for him to be, on the move like the Raiders, and it would be irresponsible for them not to have reached out to Geno and said, look, Geno, we're thinking about giving up a 3rd round pick for you. We know you want a new deal. What are you looking for? What are you looking for? And if they weren't willing to do that, then you don't make the move. Then maybe you sign Sam Darnold for the little cheapy deal that, he just signed with Seattle. Obviously, they should have felt comfortable doing the deal. Pete Carroll knows the guy. He has familiarity with him. So I don't know what's the holdup with the contract. Maybe they're just waiting to see how free agency and the draft plays out, and until they get the free agent class settled, and then they get the draft class settled and see exactly where they are in terms of cap space, and then maybe they work backwards from there. Since he's still under contract right now, maybe they're not in a rush to do it. That's the only thing I can think of. I haven't heard any rumblings from Geno's camp about him being unhappy about it, and I haven't heard anything from the Raiders camp saying they have any concern about it getting done. So right now, I think it's just, it's just status quo for the time being.
Yeah, and Chris will throw it to you in just a second, but Raiders Legion, you're saying there's a trade or big signing coming. You got to know how to configure the Geno deal. You never know. Maybe there are talks of again having a big signing, and then now, you got to figure out how to detail out that contract. Possibly, we still have some money to kind of play around with. And so, again, have no clue what's going on behind the scenes. I don't know if we see another big splash, to be honest. I mean, I think that we're going to build through the draft. And if you trade back and compile some more early round draft picks, you need that salary to pay those early rounders. So there's still multiple ways we can go about this. But you're right. Maybe they're trying to work out some numbers or potentially looking at another big splash. I just don't know what that big splash would be unless it's like an after June 1 type of move. Rick L, you're saying Gino also only had one great year in 2022. Yes, but what happened after the Pete Carroll stuff, it's just keep in mind when you have a brand new regime, everything changes. So I don't want to say that Gino fell off so much when he had a change of offensive coordinator, horrible offensive line. I agree with you, but I'm not going to judge him off of, especially last year. I think he did actually pretty damn good based on all the changes and horrible offensive line that he had. So I just think his body of work is more impressive than the 1 year of Sam Darnold. So that's what I'm saying. Pay him the same. I'd be okay with paying him the same. Cole Kev, you're saying Gino no more than 35 million. I'm with you. That's kind of the number that I had for him. And Luis, you're saying looks like he wants his market value and he thinks he's worth 40. Maybe. Could be right. Again, a lot of this is all speculation. So, Chris, man, what's your thoughts? Gino not signing yet. Got anything to add on that one?
Yeah, it's tough to it's tough to kind of accept that, a lot of these conversations weren't already had, when we first, did the trade. That's part of the whole process is, hey, we're looking to trade for you. If this happens, we're, going to look to extend you for about this much. If Gino wouldn't have been down for it, then you just kind of pump the brakes on the trade altogether, and then you look at other opportunities. So, I think you made a good point with this Sam Darnold thing, because I think a lot of people thought Sam was going to, want a lot more money, because even I did, because I was thinking if we went and got Sam, then we would have to pay him quite a bit more. So. But still, I still think that conversation should have been had. It should have been pretty much agreed upon. I'm confident that they'll get it done. We'll probably hear something fairly soon, but they might be working some incentive-based things in there. But honestly, I think it's going to happen. I think he has a good relationship with Pete Carroll. I think he wants to play for Pete, so I think they'll work it out. I think both parties, Gino's representation and, Spy Tech or whoever's, doing the contracts, I think they'll probably come in the middle somewhere. But I do think they'll come together, but I'm surprised it just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. I'm working. Rick, you're saying Darnold has had a better career than Gino, which that is a tough comment to digest. I'm just letting you know.
I don't agree. Yeah, I don't agree with that at all.
If you compare the two, you can say both were in very shitty situations in the beginning of their career. Okay, I could agree with that, right? Sam Darnold going to the Jets. No, everybody sucks with the Jets, right? Then he's a backup over San Fran. Didn't get much opportunity there. One thing you can say about Gino is when Gino got that start with the Giants, he was able to produce and he wanted to battle, which was good. Yeah. But then he goes
Eli. Didn't he Eli?
Yeah. And that's the thing is like he had opportunities with the Giants and he made the most of it. He went over to Seattle thinking he could battle with Russell Wilson, right?
Yeah.
And they shipped off Russell Wilson. He came in and everybody doubted him. And so it's an argument to say that their careers could be fairly similar. I'm okay with that. But to say Darnold had a better career, that's a hard one to swallow, to be dead honest with you. And so, but at the end of the day, I'm okay with the same money. You sign Gino for 35 like Darnold, I'd be perfectly fine with it. Again, that's just my opinion. Castro in the build, what's happening? Chris, you got something?
Well, no, I mean, Rick talking about the numbers are right in front of us. Yeah, I mean, but what are you looking at as far as the numbers? Yeah, Darnold had a good 2024 season, but I mean, Gino had a pretty good season himself. I think he actually had one more passing yard than Darnold. Darnold did light it up as far as touchdowns go and things like that. Yeah.
Well, you got Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, and
is that that's what I'm saying. So and that was that 1 year. So you talking about that 1 year, and then what? The year before, what Sam Darnold was third string for the 49ers. I mean, and I know Geno had, it took him some time to get back in the swing of things. I think he got comeback player of the year at one point, but I mean,
and to your point, because yes, you can look at the numbers, right? Numbers can tell a story, but it doesn't tell the whole story. Right? No. You can look at Geno's numbers last year. It didn't look good. Go look at Patrick Mahomes' numbers. If you just look at Patrick Mahomes' numbers last year, he was maybe middle of the road type of quarterback last year. If you just look at the numbers, at one point, Matthew Stafford, the first half of last year, the first half of the season, when you didn't have Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, that offensive line was injured. He looked like a horrible quarterback.
Yeah,
he had one touchdown. I think within a 4 or 5 game stretch, that one first half touchdown did not look very good. So I'm with you. You could look at the numbers, but the numbers sometimes don't tell the whole story.
Yeah, but that's but the numbers is like that one season, though. I mean, besides that one season, what can you really say about Darnold?
Yeah, and let's just say you want to look at the numbers. So Geno Smith has 94 career games. Sam Darnold has 83 career games. They're both 3 games under 500. Geno Smith has a higher completion percentage by 65 to 61. He's gone for more yards per attempt, more yards per game, more passing touchdowns, 4 more interceptions, and only 4 more interceptions, but he's played 11 more games, higher passer rating, more rushing yards. He let 2 less rushing touchdowns, and he has 2 Pro Bowl selections to Sam Darnold's 1, and Sam Darnold's 1 was probably last year. So
yes,
Sam Darnold, you put him in the most ideal situation any quarterback has ever been in, with the best wide receiver in the league, one of the best second wide receivers in the league, a top 5 tight end in T.J. Hawkinson, a former Coach of the Year winner, one of the better play callers in the league, with a great offensive line, with a very good running back in Aaron Jones. And it took all of that for him to have a season that we can say, okay, he had a better season than Geno Smith. And then even with all of that, at the end of the year, he laid an egg.
Crumbled.
He was so bad that team, instead of running it back with him on a very affordable contract, are going to run with a rookie quarterback coming off a devastating injury. That this is what we're comparing. It's not really a comparison.
So let's do this.
Yes,
right?
He's worth $10 million more. He's worth $10 million more.
Vegas said I've taken Darnold over Geno. Both are trash, and they should have just went and got Justin Fields, like I told Chris. Here's the thing.
Yeah, he been wanting Fields.
Fields is trash.
And here's the thing: is you take Darnold. If he was going to go for $40 million, I don't know if I take Darnold for $40 million. You know what I'm saying? And severe to your point, because of all the weapons that he had, you just don't know. It's a question mark as to what Sam Darnold you're getting. Right, and that's not worth $40 million. And so it just goes back to Geno's body of work. Now, am I going to pay Geno 40, 45? I don't want to do that. I'm still back in that 35 range, but remains to be seen.
I think we're going to have to, man. That's the thing. I think we're going to have to pay him at least 40. And that's probably the issue right now, to be honest.
And if something does, the longer it goes, again, Raider allegiance, to your point, maybe something bigger is going to happen, maybe, but the longer this goes and plays out, it's like you want to know what your numbers are. There's still free agents sitting on the board that you could potentially pick up to help this roster, at least with the depth. And we're about to talk about it, but you can still pick up depth. You just have to. You got to know what your numbers are, and the longer this goes, it's going to be very interesting.
And then plus, didn't they say that Rodgers wants about the Darnold pay? From my understanding, I think that's kind of what he's looking for. And then I'm curious to see what wherever Russell lands, and see how much he's going to get paid. So, could you almost well, I guess from a team standpoint, you might want to wait and see what Russell gets. Of course, Geno's going to be able to ask for more, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's kind of a risk, man. So it just depends on how much hardball Geno's team wants to play.
And I hope this ain't true. I think someone else threw it in the chat as well. But do you think if Geno doesn't want to sign an extension to push his Mark Davis draft Shador?
I don't think so.
I don't think
it could.
I don't know.
Honestly, it really could, because how is he only under contract for 1 more year?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
It could, honestly.
So
Sam Darnold will be a free agent again next year. We can go through again.
And so Vegas Sinister, you're saying Geno is an elite quarterback. No one's saying he's an elite quarterback. I'm with you. I don't think he's I don't think he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. I think he's a transition quarterback that's going to help us maybe change the culture a little bit. Like Geno Smith is good enough to get us 9 wins. Let's put it that way. A good situation, he can get us 9 wins. So I think it just helps change the culture and move us in a certain direction. None of us is saying he's a quarterback or an elite quarterback. Let's see. So, all right, talked about quarterback. Then Jake Long, got 70% completion rating with a bad O line. That's tough. He had a horrible offensive line last year. All right, so let's do this. We talked about Geno, talked about quarterbacks. Now let's do this. Running backs. We got Raheem Mostert, obviously Zamir White, Sincere McCormick, Dylan Labe still on the roster. We obviously, real quick, I think we're going to address it in the draft. I don't see anybody else in free agency that I want to target as a running back. We got Raheem Mostert. I think that's our free agency pickup, to be honest. I don't see anybody else in free agency except for address it in the draft. Do you guys agree? Disagree? Chat, let me know.
You probably draft two running backs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would hope we do draft 2 running backs as well. Brady Alex, what's happening? Appreciate you coming through in the building. Dirty 33, what's happening?
Man, when looking at our wide receiver depth on paper, God, that's that is when you really look at it on paper.
Look at the paper. When you look at it on the field, it's like damn paper.
God.
Oh man.
And Rick, I'll just say that. Is he $10 million? No, he's not. Then we're not saying that. So
I think he's $10 million better than Sam Darnold. Oh hell yeah. Oh man, I'd pay him 10 but I don't think Sam Darnold's worth $33 million. I wouldn't pay Sam Darnold that. So
I mean, that's true. I'll give him that. I guess I'm just looking at the number as it relates to 35 to 45. Maybe Sam Darnold's worth 30 or 25, and you give him 35. But I don't think Geno's 10 million more than what Sam Darnold got. But all right, here we go. Wide receiver, we need wide receiver without question. So I think this is where we're gonna go. We got Jacoby Myers, obviously, hands down, best number 2 receiver potentially in the league. You got behind him Christian Wilkerson, didn't show much at all. Tall, lengthy receiver, not a whole lot there. Kyle Phillips was a guy that came up on a practice squad last year. Ramel Keaton, undrafted free agent, showed some in preseason. Not a whole lot came in and got some playing time. Did not look very good, in my opinion. Alex Bachman doesn't move the needle. Jeff Foreman doesn't move the needle. So obviously, we got to address this in free agency as well as the draft, at least free agency for depth. So let's see real quick. Chat, let me know. Is there a receiver that you still want us to potentially look at in free agency? And I'm going to go ahead and pick up the free agents. So let's look at the positions. We got receiver. Let me go available. All right. So at the top of the list, we got Stephon Diggs. And so I'm going to scroll down. Let's see. Just off top of your head, Severe, I'll throw it to you first, man. Is there any receivers that you want the Raiders to keep an eye on as we head to the draft?
Not really. Not any guys. DJ Chark, but he can never stay healthy. Elijah Moore, but he's, I think he's more of a slot guy.
Yeah.
Devin Duvernay, I think he's a guy from Texas. And I don't remember how big he is, but I don't think he's the deep threat we need. Really just Elijah Moore. Brandon Cook seems to produce everywhere he goes, but
he's like a sleeper when it comes to like
Yeah.
a free agent guy that no one talks about.
Though.
He
does
hurt,
get
but
hurt.
he produces everywhere he goes. He produces like everywhere he goes. He's always
For 6
the
games.
Saints.
He'll give you 6 strong games.
He produces everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
But he's just he's just one of those guys that like he's like I don't know if you guys watch basketball. He's like Michael Finley. Like Michael Finley was nice, but it's like we talk about the best players in the league. Like you talk about Michael Finley, nah, man. But I don't know. But yeah, I guess Elijah Moore will be a guy. He's still fairly young, some untapped potential there. But
John Fallon says Elijah Moore. Kevin Lurker says Elijah Moore.
Out there, man. Josh Reynolds,
Raquel Elijah Moore.
Yeah, that's about it. Stephon Diggs is too many issues. Rondell Moore is like 5'3",
but he's quick as shit.
Yeah,
but he hasn't done anything, man. Man, that is one of the more disappointing guys for me.
I was just about to say it. And it's funny when you see some of these names because it was like it felt like just a year or two ago. These guys were like the free agent guys that everybody wanted us to get.
Yeah, Allen Robinson was a dude everybody wanted. I mean,
everybody
get Allen Robinson.
I wanted DJ Chark that year too.
Yeah, DJ Chark. Yeah. DJ Chark I could see DJ Chark because he was still like
he got
Allen Robinson was Allen Robinson was a dog too though. Allen Robinson
he was.
We had the Bears.
He went to the Rams and just completely
fell off.
You can't produce with the Rams, bro. You like it's a wrap for you.
Yeah,
you can't produce with the Rams like right now. It's a wrap.
So Ducky the Butcher saying Tyler Boyd. Taddy saying Tyler Boyd. Does he have anything left, man? Ain't Tyler Boyd the one that dropped the pass in the Super Bowl that cost the Bengals the Super Bowl against the Rams? I want to say on the third down. I want to say it was Tyler Boyd. If that's the case, I'll never forgive him. Ever.
I think Tyler Boyd. He benefited from having 2 dogs in front of him, and when he went to another team, and they kind of needed him, he really couldn't get it going.
Yeah, I want to say he was the guy that dropped the pass on that third down in the Super Bowl.
That sounds right, probably.
Right before that fourth down play where Aaron Donald closed it out with the sack.
Yeah, Raquel says yes, that was him.
Yeah, never. Nope. Automatic. You go hang out with Shady McCoy.
Salute.
Raiders Legion Shady. If you would acquire Tyreek Hill, man. I can't, as much as it'd probably be exciting as all hell just to have Tyreek Hill on this roster. I think we're at that point where it's just I want to build through the draft. I don't want to go spend a shit ton on Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, he'll cost a lot.
But I wouldn't be mad at it, but I also don't know. Maybe Pete Carroll could be the one to check his antics a little bit. But I just want to build through the draft. I think that's kind of where I'm leaning at this point, to be honest. But I wouldn't be mad at it. So let's see. Okay. So you're saying trade for George Pickens. We actually just talked about it, man. I think a lot of us are kind of a hard no at this point because I don't want to give up capital at this point. We already did for Geno. I want to build through the draft. Assassin's Creed saying Lockett and more. But our big body is Bowers. Yes, 100%. So Ducky, you think he's a solid wide receiver 3?
Tyler Boyd probably.
Who you talking about, Boyd or
he's talking about Boyd?
Elijah Moore. Yeah.
So, and Taddy, talk about a team cancer. I think if you're talking about Tyreek Hill, I believe he can be. So, and Luis, Tyreek fits the vertical game. 100% he does. I mean, he fits the whole game. He's just that put together, but I just don't want to put that type of money out there right now. I think we got to build to the draft. So, again, just my opinion. I'll go through it quickly. Easy, you're saying Diggs. Honestly, I don't know. Obviously, Diggs has some allegations going on that I don't know what's going on with that. But I know that there's that Geno and him are working out and stuff. There's a receiver. I like Tedorock McMillan. I like Savion Williams. I'd like to get a number 1 receiver potentially if they can turn into a number 1 receiver as on a rookie contract and get that that 5th round option. We see what Jamar Chase has got paid, so I'd love to see us get a number 1 and get him under a rookie contract. But real quick, is at the top, Chris, thoughts on Diggs?
I ain't gonna lie. I've always been okay on Diggs. It's just how much money he's gonna want, coming off that injury. But I think just from a skill perspective, I mean, the boy can play. I think a lot of the issues that we think about is just how is he going to be in the locker room. And that's tough. And that's tough. I think he does get a little whiny. But the thing is, I still don't like I have more red flags on Pickens than I do Diggs for some reason. Because I just feel like Diggs will just go, he'll almost go AB on this. Whereas Stephon Diggs will just be more annoying, I think. So yeah, like to me, it depends on the money, man. I'm not against Diggs, man. I'm really not.
Severe, real quick, thoughts on Diggs?
Yeah, I'm cool on Diggs, man. That he low-key he wore out his welcome with the when I say that he wore out his welcome with the Vikings, but he left the Vikings over money. And then he kind of wore out his welcome with with the Bills. He was trashing Josh Allen, which was hilarious. But that's not what you want. That's not what you want. It was comedy though. It was entertaining. And then he went to the Texans, and then he really wasn't that productive. And then he got hurt. So
I don't know. He wasn't cooking at first. I thought he was cooking with CJ for a little bit.
Nah, oh boy was cooking. What's the other guy's name? Your guy from Michigan.
Yeah, my boy. Yeah, from Michigan.
He was cooking. All year. Yeah, Nico Collins. Nico Collins was cooking. Stephon was really he might have had like 1 or 2 games where he's like, okay, there you go. But it was really like Nico and Tank Dell, okay. But so like Texans could have a chance to bring him back, and it's like, know what? We'll roll with Christian Kirk. Like, come on, dog. Christian Kirk. I'm good.
Luis, you said you want to spend on a speedy linebacker, man. We just talked about that Christian Ellis, man. I think he'd be a good addition to this team. Me, all good, man. Yeah, after this, go back and take a look at it. We definitely dive deep into that subject. Dixon, I'm gonna talk about the receivers real quick. And Cool Kev, you're right. Cool Kev Chris might turn into AB walking off with the Bucks. I mean, that's all I gotta say. So
hey, they better have my 1800, man. A Naho too.
Let that crown royal get too expensive.
You playing with me?
I'm telling you.
You mean you out? Chris
just taking the jersey off and throwing it.
What you mean you out?
Store.
Go in the back of that and go. There's some in that boxes.
Ready, Pete. Good seeing you, man. So for myself, look, I think there's definitely guys that I want the Raiders to have on the radar. One, Tyler Lockett, only because of veteran presence. Give Geno Smith a safety blanket. I know I've mentioned it before, is one of the best things you could do for a quarterback is bringing someone that he already has chemistry with and could potentially have that safety blanket as the season goes on. Doesn't mean that Tyler Lockett has to play every snap, but maybe he gets those 10 to 12 snaps in certain situations where he can just him and Geno can have that comfort level together. And it's just a 1 year. Bring him for 1 year and allow Geno Smith to walk into this season with some comfort with someone in that receiver core. So I'd be okay with a small contract for Tyler Lockett. Another guy, I wanted Tim Patrick because he could be a tall receiver that could be in the rotation, but the Lions brought him back. I do like Elijah Moore as well. I'd like to see them take a look at Elijah Moore as we get closer to the draft. But outside that, that's really it.
I'm surprised the Browns aren't going to bring him back, honestly.
Yeah.
I know it didn't work out. I think specifically, I don't think no one had the chemistry with Deshaun Watson. But again, I hear a lot about the Browns just living here. On the off season, they were very high on him, but for some reason it didn't happen. But he's explosive, man. I mean, he's still young. What's he, like 24, 25? So now I know you guys are
youngest on this list.
Oh yeah. Now I know you guys are pretty much really over Trey Tucker. Now he would immediately take Trey's spot for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm done with Trey. Yeah, I've been done with Trey Tucker.
And he's a route runner too. That's one thing I do like about him. He's a route runner. He's not just a fast guy.
He was cold coming out of Ole Miss. He was cold.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And you can, because I know they Stefanski was, they try to do a lot of end rounds with him and stuff and try to get him in space, but it just didn't work out. But Chip, he actually might be a good fit for Chip, honestly.
Yeah.
So, and I'll go down because Luis, I think you're saying Lockett at 8.5 mil. Okay, and that's what I'm saying. That's if as time goes on, it will start his value will start to chop down a little bit. That's my assumption. Okay. Now, again, if guys, this is where it gets tricky depending on where you get these guys in the offseason process, right? Cool Kev, you're saying Locke is more of a gimmick than a true number two, number three. I don't think it's a gimmick. I don't think nothing about Locke is an actual gimmick, to be dead honest with you. I think he's a solid veteran presence. He's not going to be a starting caliber, let's say, or you want him as a starting caliber number two. You know, he could be a serviceable number three on the right roster. But I definitely don't think he's a gimmick. He's a good route runner. I think he could be a good, reliable safety blanket for Geno. But Luis, going back to here's the thing: if Lockett wants to get paid somewhere upwards of that $8 million, he's gonna have to wait till either after the draft, and there's teams that missed on their guys and now they're desperate.
Yeah,
or it's that,
or during the season when someone gets hurt.
Exactly, and so that's where I think he can get in upwards of that 6-7 million is if he waits, and he might. You know what I'm saying? But if you get him now, I'd be okay with getting him at that, I don't know, 4 million. You know, get him at that 4 million for a 1 year, and he's just a rental to be a veteran guy and someone that could push Trey Tucker, maybe even teach Trey Tucker how to get separation. You know, but again, just as a safety blanket. But will I pay 8 million? No, not at all. That's why you kind of wait and see what as we get closer to the draft. But if we get to the draft and someone misses, that's where his value will go up, and then I think he's long gone. So, but okay, so that's the receivers. Obviously, we know light on receivers. Tight ends, we got Brock Bowers, Michael Mayer, Justin Shorter. Obviously, Harrison Bryant has left the building. I think he signed with the Eagles, I believe. And so, you know, and Luis, one last thing, that market value for Tyler Lockett's at $8.5 million. They also had Malcolm Koonce at $20 million. So I wouldn't necessarily look at those market values on the website, to be dead honest, because they had Malcolm Koonce at $20 million, and that didn't work out either. So 8.5, I don't know if I want to pay attention too much to that. So look at the tight ends. There's no one in free agency that I'd like to look at the tight end position. I do think we need to possibly get one in the draft.
Who was out there for tight ends? I never even looked, to be honest.
Let's see.
Loon, that is wild. That is wild.
Let's see.
Yeah, I'm cool.
I'm gonna catch up with the trout a little bit. Let me see.
Mercedes Lou. Oh, he a free agent now. Okay, he finally got.
He's still playing.
He's still
he was
playing.
with the Bears last year, bro.
He's my age, bro.
Oh, you trying to clown our UCLA dudes built different. 20 years at tight end.
He Jay-Z age.
20 years at tight end. 41 years old. Yeah, I'm cool off all these tight ends, bro, to be honest with you.
Yeah. We talked about Christian Ellis in the beginning, man. A lot of us are high on him, and afterwards, man, go back and check that out.
I don't. All these tight ends for the prices on cost. I'm good on all these dudes. And their age.
Yeah, Chad. Is there anybody at tight end wise?
To be honest, you could probably find.
Maybe Irv Smith.
20. Oh, Irv, yeah.
Maybe Irv Smith. If you want, I like Irv Smith.
I feel like he never. I feel like he just never reached potential, man. He got in the league young. He was 20 when he was in the league.
He was with Bama, right? He was at Bama, right?
Yeah, I liked him coming out of Bama.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna be cold. Yeah,
me too.
Hayden Hurst is old though. Yeah, Hayden Hurst is old. Yeah, I mean, I take a shot at Hurst. Yeah, because it's only 21.
Yeah, how does Hurst?
Hurst
still got some speed.
Oh, that was the one guy I was going to know, Hayden Hurst, because he
still got some speed. I wouldn't be necessarily mad at that for the right price.
I wouldn't hate that either.
Raider Alex, appreciate you coming in here. You're saying didn't Lockett sign with the Jets? I don't think so, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Chat, everybody, let me know.
Nah.
No, my bad.
Yeah,
okay, I got you. My bad. Okay. That was the one guy that, again, Hayden Hurst. He kind of disappeared on some of the rosters. He had a good season. I think it was with the Falcons, and then he goes over with the Rams, I think. and didn't really have.
Falcons. I remember he looked pretty good.
He was all right.
Yeah.
So he was cold with the Ravens.
Yeah.
He was with the Ravens.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Bring back Foster Moreau. Is he on there?
Felipe Franks.
Felipe Franks.
I think that's just a fun name to say. I don't know if he's any good or not.
Let's see. Emmy's you're saying that this draft is deep at tight ends. Yeah, actually, I really like the kid from Miami, but he doesn't get earlier than I want to take a tight end.
I think he'll go.
He's gonna go high. He's gonna go like second round probably.
Yeah.
Because he's depending on Tyler Warren, then Colston Loveland, and then it's him. Probably those are the top 3 tight ends.
Yeah, Irv Smith is a blocking tight end for the most part. But again,
he wasn't that at Bama. I don't know what he is now.
Not at Bama.
He was
now.
At Bama. He was eating dudes up. I don't know. What
I'm about to say he was fast. If I remember, didn't he run a good 40?
Yeah, he was like.
I remember him being fairly athletic. But yeah, I mean, at this point in his career, and I feel like he had some injuries too. I feel like I feel like something just held him back from like kind of getting it together.
Yeah, because he went to the Vikings. I want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he bounced around. I mean, yeah,
bouncing around recently.
Yeah, a couple times.
Hey, real quick, Jesus Christ. We're going to do a mock draft on Sunday. All right? Once a week, it's going to be mock draft Sundays. That's what we're going to call it. So we're going to do a mock draft every Sunday. We're going to let the week play out, see just kind of how things move. If free agents are signed on.
I already did the best one.
Screenshotted it and all. But on Sunday, so make sure you guys, if you guys that are new, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you can get involved in the chat. It's just our way of saying thank you to the chat or to our subscribers. But also, we hit you guys on Tuesday evenings, like tonight, and Sunday evenings during the season. We break down game film after the week's game. If you guys are new, hit that hashtag new once you get in the chat so we can say what's up to you. But make sure you guys hit us all up. Hit that like button, subscribe. Got Chris Protect Show podcast up above. Got The Severe Raider down below me. I'm 805 Raider Real Talk Raider Nation. We appreciate everybody checking with us. Obviously, subscribers checking with us with the chat, but any of you guys that are just viewing, we definitely appreciate it. So to kind of get past tight ends, the one that Hayden Hurst was the only one that kind of popped out with me. So let's go back to the offensive line. There's honestly for me nobody in the offensive line. I want to adjust the offensive line in free agency. I mean in the draft, and then once the draft is done, then we can look at anybody that if we didn't get anybody, you get an undrafted free agent as well. But if we missed out on anybody, then to me, I think that's where the June 1 cuts come into play. You might see some decent offensive linemen get cut after June 1, and that's what I'm going to start dipping in a little bit. And so nobody on the offensive line. But you look at our offensive line: Colton Miller, Jordan Meredith, my guy, Jordan Meredith, Jackson Powers Johnson, Dylan Parham, DJ Glaze behind them, Alan Putnam, Alice Kappa.
Okay.
Just stealing from the Raiders with his contract. Sweet feet.
Stealing.
And
my boy Dalton Wagner still in the building. I see you, big dog.
Oh man, he's still hanging on, man.
Fans love him, man. He's like that urban legend.
He is.
It was him and McClendon Curtis.
McClendon Curtis.
Supposed to be he was going to be the next the next Gene Upshaw.
Shit. I swear to God, Dalton Wagner is going to be the next Brandon Faison.
Yeah,
he's gonna be the next Brandon Faison.
He's gonna be the next Sam Webb. He taking notes from Sam Webb right now. Like, bro, how do you do it?
Baby, what's up? And so look, I think the chat's been saying it. A lot of people. Definitely, I want to address the offensive line in the draft. So, how you guys feel about that? Do you think we got to prioritize the offensive line in this upcoming draft? Chris, I'll throw it to you first.
Yeah. I mean, I still got to look at guards. Need to upgrade we can always try to upgrade a tackle as well. Also got to start thinking about life after Colton Miller. If we want to be more, futuristic thinking. Got to figure out what we're going to do with Sweet Feet. You know, is he somebody that can develop into
Number one receiver?
You know, a future,
Exactly.
you know, a future starting tackle. I don't know. We've seen some good things from him, some bad. So, but yeah,
What do you think about pushing him down to guard? He did play some guard for us.
I was
2
thinking
years.
that too. I was thinking that too. He has to be better than Dylan Parham at guard. Has to, right? Has to.
I would assume so because he had
Has
some
to.
potential at tackle. You bump him down,
Yeah.
it's an easy transition because he's done it before, and so
I think so.
you would think. So, but Severe, man, what's your thoughts on the O line as it stands right now? How do you want to address it?
I would like to see us bring in at least one more guard in here for some competition, you know, before all said and done. Because like Alec Kappa, you don't want, unless your plan really is to have Thayer Munford play that other play the guard spot. Other than that, I think, and even then, we probably need another backup tackle because I don't trust Thayer Munford on the outside. Thank the heavens we got rid of Andres Pete because that dude was a train wreck.
Trey knows.
But yeah, I think we need to bring in at least more competition at guard. Obviously we want to address it during the draft as well, but the more the merrier. Bring in some competition. May the best man win.
Yeah, real quick, I'm gonna go back up. Where was it? Cool, Kev. You guys should do a Fremont Street mock draft. That'll get messy.
Okay?
Because anytime I've been on messy with Chris, it's been messy. All right,
it would get me. Hold on, don't blame everything on me.
No, I'm blaming everything on you.
Yeah, no, the Fremont trip that was you, man. Whatever stays at Fremont or whatever happens in Fremont stays there. But we know.
Man,
805 must have got 10,000 steps in just in that one.
Whoa. That's not what happened.
His Fitbit was on fire.
On fire.
That was good time. That was good times. All right. Take it easy, guys. Anthony, you're saying I heard it was a weak O-line draft. I think it's very top heavy. I think the O-line is very top heavy when it comes to tackles and guards. And so as you get into later rounds, it definitely falls off. There's really only one offensive guard I really like in the later rounds out of Oregon State. And Gray out of Oregon State. And so, but here's my thing is, and this is probably what won me, second place in Sunday's draft, is I traded back. All right. I traded back and got myself our starting guard. Okay. So that's what I did in our mock draft last Sunday, which probably got me second place. But
second place. You're right. You did get second place.
So I'm just saying, I got some work to do. Don't overtake somebody. Raider Ryan, what's happening? Man, I gotta keep scrolling down. But here's the thing: is I definitely think I want us to address the offensive line in free agency, get a guard. I love the fact that we brought back Jordan Meredith, but I want us to get whether it would be, what was his name? The Chiefs guard.
Trey Smith.
Trey Smith, but they obviously franchise tagged him. Mekhi Becton, obviously over at the Chargers, and so we lost out. So I think we need to prioritize the guard position in the draft without question. Either it is you trade back and maybe draft one of these tackles. A lot of people are on that Membu guy. I think Membu is probably the third best tackle.
Combine guy.
I might put him fourth, actually, to be honest with you.
Fourth, Banks is my favorite. I'd love to say if we got Banks, maybe even stick him at tackle or push him down to guard or push DJ Glaze down to guard. Stuff like that. You can get very creative. But my favorite true tackle in this class is that Jonah Savanea from Arizona. Yeah. That's my favorite guard in this draft. You could probably get him in the second round. So that's how I want to address the offensive line situation. Jack Kent, I've seen you. Don't know if I said what's up, man. Appreciate you coming through. And Jeffrey in the building as well. What's happening? And Raider Ryan, what's good, man? Elon Bush in the building too. Appreciate you coming through. So let's go down to defense. All right. Obviously, we got the edge rush position. Max Crosby got his extension. We bring back Malcolm Koonce. Caleb Von Chasen left, which was unfortunate. Hopefully, we brought him in because we got Malcolm Koonce. and Adam Butler at such, inexpensive contracts. I wish we would have bought Caleb Von Chasen, but I think he wanted to go start somewhere. We got our unblocked Hall of Famer, Tyree Wilson, Charles Snowden, undrafted free agent. We'll see how he does. Andre Carter, brought him in on the practice squad, but then got some playing time. David Ogoa, I think he was that international player program. Still got him. I'll be honest, I have no clue who this guy is.
Man, it's just like, Africans. They come in, they bring their cousin with them. I was like, who is this? Who is this dude? I never heard
I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know the hell.
He slid his cousin in.
He slid his cousin in.
What is you doing, bro?
Did he fill out an I-9? That's what I would have done.
I ain't seen that on the I ain't seen that on the transaction. Nothing. This dude's name just showed up on the roster.
So here's the thing: is and Desert Raider saying, would you guys consider J.K. Dobbins on the cheap? I guess my question is how cheap. I wouldn't right now because we brought in Mostert. To be honest, if we miss on some running backs in the draft and he's still available, and he's definitely a guy that I'm looking at. But it would only be if I missed on maybe 2 running backs in the draft. So actually, Chris, I'll throw it to you first this time. Right? Any quick thoughts on J.K. Dobbins?
For J.K., yeah, I'm kind of with you. I'd wait to after the draft to give someone like him a call. Because I want to go into the draft with a mindset of getting 2 guys. So for me, it's no reason to bring him in at this point.
Yeah, Severe, quick thoughts on that one.
Also, tell me
on J.K. Dobbins, whether you'd consider him.
Nah, man, that's this dude is perpetually hurt. He's been hurt ever since Ohio State. Ever since he left Ohio State, he's been hurt. So, true. That ship is kind of sailed. I think we're okay right now. Just go via the draft at this point. Go the draft route.
Yeah, because I really don't see anybody that I'd want to bring in at this point. Okay, so let's look at kind of the edge position real quick because we still got to work on depth. I think we got to address it in the draft as well. It'd be good to see us pick up maybe somebody mid rounds, maybe a little bit later if someone drops, because we got to keep working on some depth. So this is who we got so far. Von Miller's at the top of the list. I'm not paying that much, obviously. I want more of a rotational piece. Preston Smith, Darius Smith.
Yep. I'd look at
Smith. I'd look at him.
Darius. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, he gave some good reps in Detroit.
Yeah,
he did.
Good reps, man.
So, chat, let me know if there's anybody on this list that you guys would look at as it relates to edge rushers. But that's the only name that pops out with me. A lot of people are talking about Shaq Thompson.
Once upon a time, he had some juice, but not anymore.
Is that Jihad Ward?
Jihad Ward.
Jihad Ward.
He's still in the league. He was with he's stuck in the league. Yeah. Oh boy's in the league too. Oh boy, we got
Calhoun.
Nah. He he was bum. He gone. But our second round pick out of Florida State.
Out of Florida State.
Mario Edwards.
Damn.
Mario Edwards Jr. He with the Texans, as a matter of fact.
That's wild.
Let's see.
Jihad Ward.
Yeah.
So
I wonder if PJ Hall is PJ Hall.
How old is Shaq Barrett? And where's Shaq Barrett? How old is Shaq Barrett?
Where was he at? He was right there. 32.
Yeah. Kind of up there.
So, look, again, I think we can establish it in the draft. We have a guy like Amari Gaynor, Raider Hawaii. I think you said you want to see more of Amari Gaynor. He played D-end at North Carolina, but originally at Florida State, he was an inside linebacker. So I think he can transition a little bit. But if you look at the depth, I think Tyree is still going to get work. I think you have to give him work, unfortunately. And so he's going to get work. You got Charles Snowden that's going to rotate in. He rotated in a lot last year. Andre Carter remains to be seen. He was from Army. I think it wasn't a first round draft pick back in the day. Or at least he was highly regarded as one of the edge rushers coming out of that draft class.
Possibly.
And so, if not a first, he was an early round draft pick. Let's put it that way. And so, we'll see what he has. So maybe we can bring in one more throughout the draft. I don't see really anybody in free agency that I'd either want to pay for or kind of take a stab at without possibly developing somebody through the draft.
Yeah.
So let's see. Jack, you're saying I want Gainer an off-ball linebacker. Yeah, that's what I thought he was going to come in as. But man, just didn't get enough playing time last year. So, all right, just want to make sure I'm looking through. Luis, you're saying I agree. T-Mac and Membu are two of the guys in media impact. Yeah. Membu can have media impact. I don't disagree, but I just like a couple other tackles before him because I think he's a little too stiff compared to some of the other guys that I watched. I love Banks. I think Banks is an athlete that will do the same thing Membu can do, but he's just more of an athlete. And I do like his ability to get to the second level a lot smoother than I've seen Membo do. So those are just my comparisons in a nutshell. Chris, I don't know if you saw something on that comment or something else.
No, I was just looking at our linebacker core.
Okay.
Luke Masterson. Oh my god.
Yes, that's what I'm like.
I didn't even know he was still around. I thought they got rid of that dude.
Man, that
is. Cole kept saying, "Well, man, Campbell. Hey, man, if Calais Campbell came in after like the draft and we were just going to get him as a veteran rotational piece, I wouldn't necessarily be mad at it.
They must not be counting the new guys we got. Oh no, they got. I don't see a Landon.
Yeah, they got Robert.
Oh, they got Landon right there. Oh damn, Luke Masterson. Ugh.
That's crazy. I mean, even Amari Burney, I don't see him as a starter.
He maybe projecting going forward. I think he had some solid play last year, but yeah, I don't trust him. Yeah, I'd have to see it.
Yeah, I don't trust him. Yeah, he has a lot of development still left to do. And Masterson, I never was a fan of him.
Let me go back before we get to linebackers real quick. What are your thoughts on going receiver in the second, maybe a Trey Smith or Jack Bech TCU? I think Jack Bech might fall to the third. I know he had that crazy performance at the Senior Bowl, but I think he might be more of a third projection. But I saw your comment, man, right around. I want to come back to it. Severe, any thoughts on a receiver in the third?
I'm good on Jack Bech. Third round receiver, Alec Manor. Stanford, he's a guy I really like. Jalen Royals is a guy I really like. Jaden Higgins would probably go before that, but if Jaden Higgins is available on the third, that dude is another guy I like there as well. But yeah, I'm cool off Jack Bech. He's a possession guy. I'm not saying he's not going to be a good player, but I don't think we need more of that.
Chris, any thoughts on a receiver in second round?
Or third?
Yeah, you talking about third round?
Did you say second? Third?
I thought you said third.
My bad. Did I read it wrong?
Or maybe you said second. Oh yeah, I didn't know. You said third. I
said that Jack Bech might be more of a third round than a second.
Second round. Yeah, I'm going like Matthew Golden or something like that before that. But
I think if what's his name? I don't know if he'll make it to the second round, but Emeka Egbuka, Ohio State. He could potentially be there early second round. Trying to think. I like that. I do like Higgins. Higgins is he's a big body guy who can run. I like Isaiah Bond. I think he has some skills. So there's some guys out there.
Look at this dude with these subliminals. I really like Isaiah Bond.
I really like Isaiah Bond. The guy can play.
Kenneth Grant too, man. That guy.
He's trying to push his way up. He's trying to push up his way up that rating.
But real talk. I like Isaiah Bond's game though. I do like his game.
Real quick shout out. This is my cousin, man. Shout out to you, brother. I appreciate you popping in. No, I don't have a Patriots.
Tell the truth. You got a Patriots.
Get out of here.
Okay.
With that. That's my cousin, man. Appreciate you.
To you.
And so, but here's my thing when it comes to second round. If I like T-Mac, I like Tedoroa McMillan in the sixth or at the sixth position. Even if you trade back a little bit and still get him, I think he's generational talent. If I miss on T-Mac, I think there's other players I'd want to get in the sixth. I don't see a receiver that I want in the second round, because if I miss on T-Mac, then I'm looking at Savion Williams. And so I'm gonna let the receivers go in the second, and I'm most likely addressing either the linebacker position or even the offensive line. Again, I like Jonah Savanea out of Arizona. Like, that's where I'm going. I don't see a receiver in the second that I'd pull the trigger if I missed on T-Mac. So I think there's guys that would kind of better fit our needs, as well as kind of be that 50-50 ball guy, that number one receiver that we need later down the road, or on this roster to complement Brock Bowers, Jacoby Myers, all that. And even if Trey Tucker does produce and can be that receiver that can take the top off, I'm probably going to wait for a Savion Williams type. So I wouldn't pull the trigger on a second rounder, because Chris, to your point, Abuka, I don't think he's going to get to the second. If by chance he did, I don't know if I'd do it, knowing that I can get Savion Williams on the bat in like the third or fourth, but I want to pull a trigger on the O-line in the second. So,
do we almost have to double dip a receiver?
I would. I mean,
we might have to, man.
I would, because here's the thing: is if, let's say I got T-Mac, right, or let's say I got Savion Williams, I wanted Tim Patrick, but we didn't get him. So I would pull a trigger on maybe in the very last rounds on a Will Shepherd from Colorado. You know, a good tall receiver to be a rotational guy that's 6'5" or 6'4" ish. You know, still has some speed, can go up and get the ball. I would double dip on receiver, and I also, if we don't bring in a Tyler Lockett to kind of help out with that slot receiver position, or if we don't address it, I'm bringing in a slot receiver. So I think I'm double dipping on receiver as well.
I ain't mad at that.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we got interior defensive lineman. Here's my thing. I think we're good on interior defensive lineman. I don't see anybody in free agency. I can pick it up really quick. Chat, let me know if you like anybody that's left in free agency when it comes to interior. But there's some guys in the draft that I like. So Roquan Davis, Austin Johnson, John Jenkins. I don't know. Hey, Chris, after the draft, we don't get anybody. We might see your John Jenkins come back.
John Jenkins, yeah, it's a wrap for Big John.
Man, it's been a wrap.
Man. I don't know. I was pissed that we got rid of Mo Hurst, and I got to hear the shit about it because my family's all 49er fans, and so they got to give me shit for that. I don't see
anybody about Mo Hurst. I was mad about who's the dude we let go. Where'd he go? Either he came from the Texans or he went to the Texans. The dude we had before John Jenkins. Dang, big body in the middle. Dang, what's my man's name? He came the same year we picked up the dude from the Bears. Yeah, dude from Bears. Yeah, dude from Bears. Yeah.
I know you're talking about the little. He was short and stocky.
He was a nose tackle.
Yeah, he came. Didn't he come from the Bengals?
I don't know if he came from the Bengals. I thought he came from the Texans. Dang, what's my man's name? No, not. But I hated Bilal Nichols. No,
yeah, I didn't like him.
I didn't like. I like this dude better. Damn, I want to say he came from the Texans. Damn,
the dude I remember. If I dude I'm thinking about, I thought he
Billings.
Yeah,
I like Billings.
I thought Billings he came from the Bengals.
Maybe he did.
Did he go to the Bengals? Yeah, Andrew Billings.
And yeah.
I can't remember. The Browns had it. He originally came. He was originally with the Browns, I think. Okay. And then I want to say he went to the Bengals, but nah. Yeah, I was mad we let him go too.
So Rishi Rocky saying Lockett went to the Steelers. Someone said he went to the Jets earlier. I don't know if that's true.
Man, yeah.
But so look, when it comes to interior defensive tackles, again, there's guys that I really like in this draft. You saw me. I think I took Ty Robinson from Nebraska in the last round in our draft that I got second place in in our mock draft last Sunday. And so, but I got there's a guy that I really like, Darius Alexander from Colorado State. He's a bad man. He showed out in the combine, and I looked him up even more, and he actually looked pretty damn good. He could be a third rounder that we get. Could be a depth piece, kind of work in. Let's see. Yeah, Ty Robinson. I think severe during our mock draft on Sunday. Enos Peoples from Virginia Tech. I think you mentioned him.
Yeah, he's nice.
So, also Cam Horsley from Boston College. That was a guy that actually I started doing some research on. He looks like a good late rounder that we could take a stab at, but I'm not seeing anybody. Let's see. Xenomorph, man, what's happening? Yeah, we talked about Christian Ellis in the beginning. We all like him, definitely. Steve DeLuna, what's happening? Appreciate you pulling up.
Didn't Texas? Didn't they have a big boy in the middle?
I think Benito Jones was the one that was tearing us up. I want to say when we played the Dolphins. I want to say he was Jay Toy ain't gonna be no UDFA. I don't think. I think he's gonna be like a fifth, sixth rounder. But Jay Toy out of UCLA, he's nice. But nah, Benito Jones. I think he was a dude. I think he gave us work when we played the Dolphins. Well, he's getting part work, which is not saying much.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
It's not saying he's getting part some work.
You know, if you're saying wish we could trade Tyree, yeah, we can get rid of Tyree. I'm with you. You said my two. There's always quality talent that drops the second and third round. Yes, there are. That's a very true statement. But what we'll do is we'll go back real quick because here's the thing. Look at our D line.
Since we're talking about the mock draft on Sunday. If we did my method, this position would be taken care of with Kenneth Grant in the middle, right next to Christian Wilkins. But never mind. Go ahead.
Or with my method with Tyleek Williams in the middle. You guys never watch Tyleek Williams. Watch Tyleek Williams. Dude's a monster.
So here we go. Look, but either way, you look at we're going to have one of the scariest front sevens or front fours.
Front four, yeah. Don't say seven.
Yeah. Not if Eichenberg ends up starting, but
yeah, don't with Masterson out there, do not say seven.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh shit, with Masterson. I didn't even know he was still on there. But I think someone said in the chat that there's somebody that he's actually a free agent. So, and I think he is. Maybe this is not updated. But as it stands right now, Malcolm Kuntz, Christian Wilkins, Adam Butler, Max Crosby. They got Zach Carter there. Obviously, we just brought him on, but he's not going to be there. Adam Butler, he's going to be in the mix. He's going to be starting. That's a nasty front four that's going to come after you. So love seeing it. Let's I just want to keep going through a lot of people are on Mason Graham. I like Mason Graham as well. Me personally, not big on 6 just because we did bring back Adam Butler, but he's a beast. So let's see. Jack Kenny, you're saying question to everyone, what does the casinos have? I don't know. I don't think that's come out yet. The casinos have them out yet.
Probably post draft.
Yeah. And you can only, I don't know if they have those out yet. I think the futures are out though. I think the futures are out on Super Bowl. On Super Bowl, the odds are out on the Super Bowl. So, okay, real quick, let's talk about linebackers. Okay, Amari Burney slotted there. Landon Roberts, Luke Masterson, Kanai Malga.
That's terrible.
Severe's boy, Tommy Eichenberg, gotta love it. Brandon Smith, Amari Gaynor, Jackson Mitchell.
Eichenberg gonna work his way into a start.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen,
bro. I will lose it.
Severe's gonna start doing lives by himself just to yell at people.
Jackson Mitchell for starter. I don't even know who this man is.
I know.
Get Jackson Mitchell out there. Get Ovi Agudo. I don't understand.
Let's see. I was gonna say what's up.
I don't know what's worse. Our linebackers are our wide receivers right now. It's looking.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Those are two. I'm just like, when you look at it on paper, it hits different.
Man, exactly. Yeah. I didn't know it's
like that.
How is John Spytek not like pounding the phones right now? Like
that's what I'm saying.
In the frenzy.
Hey, that's why. Look, we talked about Christian Ellis. If we bring in Christian Ellis, then at least we have a rotator. And shit, man, if my cousin's still in the building, let me know what your thoughts are on Christian Ellis, man, because I want to bring him in. If we can either bring him in for a little bit more than what the Patriots have to match, and I know they got a lot of salary cap, so it'll be tough to peel him away if they really like him. But I'd love to bring in Christian Ellis, because you add him to this very weak linebacker core, I'd do it in a heartbeat. So because that's what we're saying this is a weak linebacker core.
How you like the guy from? Don't you guys have a dude from Florida?
Yeah.
James.
Yeah. Let's see, to me, I think he's going to fall probably into that maybe 4th round area. And if he drops back into the 4th round area, you could take a stab at him. But there's guys I like better than him though.
Yeah.
And so I'm blanking on his name. The kid from Oklahoma. If we pull somebody in the 4th, I like him. No, the linebacker. Hold on, I'll go to my notes real quick. It's Danny Stutzman, the linebacker.
The guy I took. The guy I took in my draft. Exactly. Oh yeah. Oh, all right. Yeah. Oh yeah. The guy.
That guy.
I remember that guy. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. It makes sense.
Man.
Makes sense.
Hey, this Sunday is gonna be fun. Make sure you guys rock with us on this Sunday, because there was a lot going on.
Fooling with y'all punks.
And so, yeah, let me know if there's a linebacker that you guys want. Assassin's Creed, you're saying, my bad. If we don't draft Chris Paul at linebacker, I want a linebacker the linebacker from UCLA. I drafted that linebacker from UCLA in my mock draft. So Assassin's Creed, I'm right there with you. Okay, I'm right there with you. Chris Paul, I like Chris Paul. I think he's just a little undersized, to be honest. He's a little undersized for what I want to see in a linebacker. He's crazy athletic, but just a little undersized. If he's still there, or if he drops, I don't know what his projection is. I know he might be a 2nd or 3rd rounder, but if he drops like the 4th and we haven't picked somebody up, I'll take a stab at him. But Chris Paul's just a little undersized for what I like in linebackers.
I kind of like the guy, the Penn State King, I think.
What's
I was watching him. Kobe King. I think I was watching him actually the other day, because I've been trying to get more into the linebackers. Kind of like what I saw from him. He's he can hit, and he runs the field pretty well.
I gotta look more at him. Okay, I'll check him out.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Penn State always good to have some solid linebacker play.
Yeah, so Ginseng, you're saying the Bucs don't set the lines until post draft. You'll see them all drop within hours of one another. Okay, mostly minutes even.
Check them out. So Penn State, I check them out.
Yeah, pretty good.
So all right,
size. I think it was like
Rick said he's good.
So Raider.
Check them out.
Rick, okay, King's a stud. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll definitely I'll go look at this film too. But obviously a very weak linebacker class. Let's take our linebacker room as it stands right now. Would love to see Christian Ellis potentially add to this room, but let me go to linebackers really quick, and we'll go inside first. What's available? Chat, let me know if there's anybody you guys are looking at. Still put some of the edge rushers in here, which is tough, but you got CJ Mosley. That's out there. Everybody's talking about him.
Isaiah Simmons still out there?
He's still out there.
Ain't that crazy?
I will take a look at EJ Speed. He's still out there?
That's what it says.
I'd bring Isaiah Simmons just because of his versatility.
Man,
find a spot for him.
I take a look at EJ Speed. Everybody, I want to say, didn't he?
So Pitstick.
Was it him that led the league in tackles, or he was up there for a while?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. Let's see. Dre saying bring Speed or Isaiah Simmons in, man. Like that's hard, man, because you got Tad. You're saying Willie Gay Jr. I gotta look more at him. I don't know much about him, to be honest. I think you're saying Speed did have that one really good year. Okay, you might be talking about EJ Speed.
I want to say he led the league in tackles or something like that, or he's like top 5.
Yeah. So, and here's my thing is like with Isaiah Simmons, man, I loved him coming out of college.
Me too.
Because that was that time where linebackers were trying to transition to cover tight ends, right? And you just thought he was going to be that tight end killer.
Oh yeah, big, fast.
Yeah, and be able to go sideline to sideline. But obviously it just fell off in Arizona, right? Arizona.
Arizona.
And then he finds himself in New York. So that's a guy, man. I wonder if some of these guys are at this point. You're waiting for the draft. I wouldn't mind looking at Isaiah Simmons as we get closer to the draft. I'll look more at the DJ Speed.
Like Kaiser White. He was just a guy who had potential coming out of college too, didn't he? He just never. I felt like he was supposed to be pretty decent and just never met expectations.
Kaiser White, man, I got to refresh my memory on that kid.
Yeah. EJSP was up there. He 93 solo tackles, 142 tackles in 15 games. 15. He only played 15 games. I think the league leader is like his teammate Zaire Franklin, who put up 173 in 17 games. But
oh shit, okay. So Jeffrey said, yeah, EJ Speed is awesome with the Colts, and then you got where is this? Xenomorph saying Speed at 142 tackles.
Damn.
Last year. Oh shit. Okay.
And it's in 15 games. So he missed 2 games.
How old is he? Oh, 29.
Okay, hold on.
29, almost 30, but still, I mean, but yeah, like you get someone like him.
Same age as Robert Spillane.
Yeah. What do they have his market as? Not that, it's
$4 million. If that's $4 million, then what he getting?
I think that's what he got on his last
year.
contract.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So what is it?
Wait,
5 mil.
Who is it you're looking at? EJ Speed?
Yeah, Speed. Yeah.
So here's my thing, right? In my sports review says I'm a Colts fan. I appreciate you coming in with us, man. You're saying I'm a Colts fan. Trust me, you don't want EJ Speed. Yeah, he's going to tackle, but he'll give up plenty of them and can't cover.
That's the story of our life.
I mean, if he had 142 tackles and he was missing tackles, that's
I'm about to say, yeah. If your complaint is missing tackles, we made 142. That's crazy. But here's my thing: is when you see tackles like that, you're just wondering how much were those tackles. If he's got speed, that tells me, is he hawking guys down from behind? Is he making the tackles 8, 9, 10 yards downfield because that front line just wasn't able to produce, maybe didn't have run support off the edge. If he's got speed, is he just doing a bunch of cleanup tackles as well? Because you see that a lot. That doesn't mean he's necessarily good. So I definitely want to just see the film. But 142, it makes you watch the film. Let's put it that way.
Here's a knack for the ball, where the ball is.
Yeah. So let's see. All right, Leroy, what's happening? I appreciate you rocking with us. Let's see. Dre, you're saying?
See, that's where I'm at. I just feel like someone just hasn't tapped into Simmons. Hasn't tapped into his skill set yet, man. Because I don't know, man. He's just one of them guys that if he's put in the right situation, the dude can be a dog. And we all know kind of what Patrick Graham did with with my guy, what's his name? The one that he had, what's the name that's at the Patriots now? Damn.
Robert Spillane?
No, the Joker that he put at Joker for the Giants. How come I can't think, man?
Oh, Jabril Peppers?
Yeah, Peppers. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So like, if he can get Simmons to play that type role, that could get nasty, man.
Yeah. And so
and that's what we need. So
Dre's saying Graham has the ability to unlock Simmons on our defense. I mean, maybe. Jose, appreciate you coming
and he's a cover guy. Being an ex-safety, he's a guy that can actually at least cover enough.
Yeah. And so here's the thing, right? In chat, we're going to jump over to the defensive backs, man, because we were rocking for 2.5 hours. And, there wasn't a whole lot of news today. And we're still rocking 2.5 hours. So we appreciate everybody rocking with us. Again, just as a reminder for us, in order to kind of show some love a little bit to the chat and everything, I want to make sure that you guys know that we're doing just subscribers only, just show some love and show our appreciation. But we're going to jump over, but Severe, I know you got to get out of here doing your thing as well. real quick, let the chat know where they can find you with and all that fun stuff.
You guys know what it is, man. The Severe Raider, aka mock draft champion.
Cut his ass off. All right,
you're never gonna hear the end of that.
Mr. Mock Draft King. You know, I will be giving a seminar on the value of with you. You guys know where to find me, man. You know, Tuesdays rocking out with my guys, man, 805 and Chris from Protect the Shield, as well as Sundays, where I will be defending my title successfully this upcoming Sunday. And then, you know, I got the 50-50 show that'll be coming up in a little while. And I have some interesting stuff. It's some interesting story about Shedeur Sanders that you guys I've done a little. I've connected some dots. And you guys might want to tune in to that later on. And then, of course, we got, you know, Around the Shield probably this Thursday, man. So I'll let you, boy, if you guys haven't already, hit that thumb. Make sure y'all sub. And if you haven't done so for my guys, make sure y'all head over to their channels and show them the same type of love that y'all show me.
100%, man. Appreciate you. We'll definitely rock back in with you on Sunday, man.
Definitely.
All right, cool. So, real quick, again, man, we were rocking for 2.5 hours. So let's jump over to the defensive backs real quick. But chat, let me know, who do you guys want to bring in on the defensive side when it comes to linebackers? There's someone you like in the draft as it relates to linebackers. Who's your favorite? I know we had some Chris Paul Juniors in there and all that. So let me know who you guys like at the linebacker position. And again, for those of you guys that are viewing, we appreciate you. But if you're not subbed, you can't jump in the chat. It's just something we like to do for our subscribers, showing our appreciation. So hit that sub button. You can rock with us in the chat as well. And so we got Jack Jones. All right. We got Jack Jones. Obviously, we have Jacorian Bennett. I don't know why they got DC Richardson.
That's what I was
in front of them.
Why they even got
ESPN's
and what about the other our other corner that we drafted last year? Not DCAM, but the other guy. I forgot his name, but
not MJ Devonshire. Is it MJ?
Yeah,
Devonshire?
Yeah, Devonshire.
Yeah,
I don't even got him.
I think we dropped him to the practice squad.
Oh, in practice, is that what it is?
Yeah, we dropped him to the practice squad. And so Dre, you saying you like the Oregon kid, Jeffrey Bossa? Yeah, he flies sideline to sideline.
Yeah,
Raquel.
Bossa's nice.
Jahad Campbell. I actually like Jahad Campbell. If the draft doesn't work out the way, and I want to trade back a little bit to gain some more draft capital, if we drop back, and then again, if we drop back a little bit more, or depending on how it plays out, I would not mind picking up Jahad Campbell in that first round if we did find ourselves dropping back into like the early 20s. I'd pull the trigger on it if we found ourselves doing that, knowing that we generate a lot of draft capital, because I think it could be an absolute stud. So I'm with you, Raquel. So obviously Jack Jones is there. Hopefully Pete Carroll can get him more discipline. Jacorian Bennett come off an injury. Hopefully he can come back and continue what he did last season. Thomas Harper's here. Chris Smith. We don't know what the hell is going to happen with Chris Smith. You know, we'll see how he works out. Obviously, we have DCAM, our 4th rounder last year. Brought in Lonnie Johnson. Brought in Eric Stokes. Trey Taylor. We'll see what he does as a 7th rounder. And then we obviously got Sam Webb. So, Kevin Lurker, you like Campbell as well. Yeah, my 2. You're on Bossa. Let's take a look at the free agents when it comes to corners. And guys, let me know if there's anybody on this list that you guys like as it relates to the corners. Obviously, at the top of the list, you got James Bradbury. Dre, you think Chris Smith's going to ball out, take someone's job? Hope so, man. I liked him out of Georgia.
Yeah, salute to Chris Smith.
So Raiders Allegiance, you're saying Teddy Buchanan out of Cal. But we'll not this one. On Sunday, we'll take a look at more of the draft. But and Luis, you're saying Jahad Campbell, Javon Walker. So at the top, James Bradbury. Obviously, James Bradbury had his history with Patrick Graham, with the Giants. I'll be honest. I don't know what James Bradbury's history is going to be. I think James Bradbury is that prototypical guy. He lost his job with at the Eagles, right?
Yeah.
You had a young Quentin shit, I'm blanking on his name, but the kid the Severe's guy that they picked in the first round, the Eagles did.
Quinyon
Mitchell.
Yeah.
Right. Basically stole his position. They were basically trying to move James Bradbury to safety, and then that Cooper DeJean kid took his spot. Like James Bradbury just could not find a spot on that Eagles roster. And so I see James Bradbury, even though he's at the top of the list, I see him being a guy that if you don't hit on anybody in the draft or you miss out on your guys, maybe he'll find a spot. I'm not saying on this roster, maybe he'll find a spot somewhere. But you got Taino, you're saying Stephon Gilmore or Samuel. Stephon Gilmore is that vet corner. I think for me, if we don't hit on guys, he's definitely a guy that you may want to look at after the draft. I'm with you. Asante Samuel Jr. Now, I kind of posted a video on mine, and I'll talk about him in a second. But Chris, anybody that kind of sticks out to you when it comes to free agents?
Again, at this point, I may take a swing at guys who I know have the potential, but it just has to be unlocked. So, maybe a CJ Henderson. I mean, it's crazy seeing Rasul Douglas on there wanting that money. I'm actually not a big fan of Asante Samuel, to be honest. James Bradbury, you would think just maybe with the history with Graham, but the fact that we've had opportunities to make a play for him before and we never really did. So I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, it's tough. Again, James Bradbury, if we don't hit on somebody, maybe you bring him in to compete. Yeah. And now it's not that we're gonna he's not gonna bring anything to this cornerback room outside of just maybe a little bit of competition, but ultimately he's probably gonna get beat out by the guys that we already have in there.
He got Shaquille Griffin. He got some experience with Pete Carroll.
He does. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so he may be interesting, but I mean, none of these guys are really going to move the needle to me. Like I think Gilmore just, going to be turning 35 this year. Not sure what he got left. So, yeah, honestly, it's another position that we're going to have to address in the draft, and more importantly, we're going to have to develop our young guys. So whether it's DCAM or or the other one, we're going to have to. Yeah, I mean that's somebody's going to have to step up. That's all there is to it. Or maybe Jack can get to the level of what we think he can do, so he seems to have a chip on his shoulder, so we'll see.
I think so. The only guys that stick out to me, honestly, is again CJ Henderson, and it's only because I'm a Florida guy. So coming out of college, CJ Henderson was good.
Yeah, it's in him. It's in him.
And he's a tall corner, just like Pete Carroll likes, and so you might see us take a stab at him again if you miss in the draft. But again, doesn't necessarily move the needle. It's just competition, and maybe you can get that first round evaluation out of him if you coach him up. So I'm actually more on Asante Samuel Jr. And the only reason why I like him and potentially bringing him in is because when you look at not only his play with Florida State, but also when he was with the Chargers, we need a slot corner.
Yeah,
he could transition to that slot corner position. He can play the outside corner, but he's quick. He's got that. He showed very good instincts with the Chargers, and so he had good numbers outside of last year because last year he got injured. And so, if again as we get closer to the draft, this is a guy that I want the Raiders to keep their eye on to potentially move him into that slot corner position. But he's good enough to be able to compete with like a Jack Jones. To light a fire under Jack Jones, because we need someone to kick Jack Jones's ass a little bit and to become more disciplined.
For sure.
And so, but you could push Asante Samuel inside and compete for that slot corner position if you don't get it in the draft. So now they have him as evaluation at $11 million. Like I said before,
11
million. look, Malcolm Kuntz wanted 20, and that's what they had him projected at. I just don't think it's going to happen. And the closer and closer you get to the draft, the longer he sits in free agency, that number is going to drop. So Hitsticker, you're saying Asante Samuel gets burnt a lot. Yeah, so does Jack Jones. But if you can get him in at a cheap contract and get more of that talent that came out of Florida State and build a little bit off of what he did with the Chargers, I think you could bring him in as a good competition piece. I'm not paying $11 million. Definitely not saying that. But if you can get him in and pay more around that $6 million to get a decent talent in the building that could get pushed down to that slot and compete, because we don't have one right now, I'd be willing to take a stab at it as we get closer to the draft. But if he's still there after the draft, I'm definitely take a look at him if we don't get anybody in the draft. Jason Freddy, you're saying Rock Ya-Sin, man. I liked Rock Ya-Sin when he was with us. I really did.
He's been getting injured lately.
But I think who was the guy? Gus Bradley, our defense coordinator, when we had him. Rock Ya-Sin, that was when what was his name? Well, who was the other corner that was with it that balled out? Kind of towards the tail end of his career.
It
was Rock Ya-Sin, and then it was, I'm picturing his face, man, but I can't.
He balled out for us.
But I hate seeing Rock Ya-Sin leave to the Colts, because we didn't really have anybody at that point. We lost, I think, both our starting corners that offseason. So, but there's nobody really in free agency outside of, again, for myself, I'd like to keep our eye on Asante Samuel Jr., maybe CJ Henderson.
Yeah, Casey Hayward.
Casey Hayward. Yeah. CJ Henderson, just because Pete Carroll likes those former first rounders, those tall, lengthy corners. But nobody on here, in my opinion, moves the needle. I still want to address it in the draft.
Yeah. I mean, anyone that I would look at is just someone that I just feel like has that potential that's just untapped. That's it. But I wouldn't have too high expectation on any of those folks. And honestly, the draft, I think the draft has some pretty. I mean, they're pretty deep at the cornerback position. You can get some quality talent.
I think you can. So again, I think looking at the entire roster, we still need to build through the draft. And the more and more we go through this, and the reason why we did this, and you guys can agree with me or not, so let me know in the chat. But now we'll kind of go back up to the big screen. You can agree with me or not. Let me switch it up so I'm looking in the right direction. This is why I'm more and more thinking about moving back in the draft.
Getting some more. No.
We need help. We need help at potentially the corner position. We need help at the linebacker position. We need help at the receiver position. We need help at the linebacker, receiver. We need help on the offensive line.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it be starters, we also need depth.
Yeah. I mean, even safeties. I mean, I think Palomar played pretty well, but I still want him to be. I want him to feel pushed. Whether it's from Christopher Smith Jr. or Trey Taylor. So we'll see.
Yeah, Taino, appreciate you, man. His sticker, you're saying Samuel better play on the outside, but he's versatile and can play the slot. Yeah. So if you're bringing him,
he definitely play both.
Again, I'm not saying pay $11 million. I'm not saying that. But if he sits, because he's sitting, if he continues to sit, maybe take a stab at him if that market value cuts itself in half, to be honest. Just as a competition rotational piece. But yeah, that's why I'm getting more and more I'm leaning more towards potentially moving back in the draft. As much as I like T-Mac, Tedorock McMillan, I think he's a generational talent. I think he can absolutely crush it and add an element to this offense that we don't have, that we need. I think it weighs on my shoulders more that we have to build through the draft.
Oh, yeah.
You don't build through free agency. You only build through free agency if you need that one or two pieces that could get you to the Super Bowl. you know what I'm saying, and get you to the promised land. I think because we only won 4 games last year, we have to build through the draft. So I'm more in line with possibly dropping back and stockpile some draft capital. So, man, Chris, what's your thoughts on our overall roster and kind of what we went through today?
Yeah, man, I think it was good to actually really sit and look at the roster on paper, because I when you think about it in your mind and you kind of put the pieces together, it's one thing, but when you really look at it, like I said, that it was very glaring looking at that wide receiver position, very glaring looking at the linebackers, and again, like that's why I'm so serious about like having realistic expectations, man. Like looking at that roster, I know we're still kind of working on it, but we're far away from really competing, and being able to just go get a couple free agents, that's not going to help us in the long term. Like we have to knock this draft out. We have to develop the guys we drafted last year and the year before. Like I think that development is what we don't think about enough. We have to develop these players. Like these guys got to take the next step. Like Jacorian is going to have to take the next step. All those guys. I mean, Tom, we laugh about Eichenberg, but Tommy's going to have to step up. He's going to have to step up. Trey Taylor's going to have to step up. DCam's going to have to step up. Tyree, all of them guys are going to have to step up, man. If they don't, then we're doomed, man. So yeah, I can't lie. After looking at this, man, trading back might be the move, honestly. It might be, and trading back a few times. To be completely honest.
I practiced a little bit, did a little mock draft earlier today, and I traded back almost in each round just to get a couple extra more picks. And I'm sitting there going, like, we need to not only, and to your point, right? And I've said this a lot, is you not only do you build through the draft, but you have to coach up your players.
Right.
Like you're saying, you've got to develop them. And so you can't always get that shiny object. And so as much as I am all about Tedoroak McMillan, I think he's a generational talent. I'm like, damn, but we need to build more. We can't just stick with just the standard picks that we have right now. We got to continue to build. And so that's my biggest thing. And so, Charles, interesting, you're saying $1 million question, who do we like most likely pick at 6? If we stick into Tedoroak McMillan's there, that's who I would like. That's if we stay there. Chris, if we stay at 6, who would you like?
I'm still going to always say like Will Johnson. Like I really see him as a Patrick Surtain type of impact player. So, that's what I would look at. Yeah.
And I'm big on Tedoroak McMillan. And so, Rick, you said JPJ needs to become a leader. Yeah, I'm with you. We got to have those leaders on the defense.
I think he will. I really think he will, especially with Andre James no longer on the roster. I think because if you think about it, on that line, who else would be, as good as Colton is? Colton's not like a rah-rah leader type of guy. I think JPJ is going to be the one that line kind of takes his identity, takes his attitude, be a lot more physical and mean. So we'll see.
Yeah. And so, Dre, you're saying we keep saying trade back, but what happens when no team wants to give us good picks for trading back? I'm with you. And there's no promise the team's going to want to trade with us, right? So
yeah,
there's no guarantee. So it's all kind of
hypothetical. You be smart with it. Yeah, you be smart.
Yeah. All hypothetical, but you would hope that you would have some options, and you would hope the Raiders are definitely taking phone calls. If that at that 6th spot, Raider Why you said I said here before we should be rebuilding instead of a win now mode, and here's the thing, you can ask yourself the question with the roster that we have right now, and even if you stick at 6 or whatever, and let's say there are people that want Genty, there are people that want Shedeur Sanders and all that stuff, right? My biggest thing is if you look at our roster and we get some decent pieces, how many wins are we realistically going to have next year? There's a good chance that we're still only going to get maybe we're at 8-9 wins.
Yeah.
And I think 8-9 wins is a success based off of what we had last year.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, then trade back knowing it's not Super Bowl today. Trade back and start that process of building through the drafts, knowing that it's maybe 8-9 wins next year. It's possibly playoffs, the next year, and then now we're fighting for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So start building the pieces now. Again, and that's hard for me to say, knowing just how much I think T-Mac is going to be that good. I'd be willing to move back and build this. You know, Luis is saying trade back twice from Malachi Starks. I do like him. Let's see. Big 183. The Rams won their Super Bowl through free agency. They did. That's a very unique situation. I'm with you. That's a very unique situation. They work some things very strategically.
See, but I might have to push back on that a little bit though, because they also did it by trading.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, it wasn't just free agents, but they made some key trades. They already kind of had a good roster from before, and they went all in. They literally went all in, and they were able to, because they only
100%.
needed a couple pieces, you know. So I don't. Yeah, that isn't a typical way, but I mean, but they did do it. But I think it was more of the trades more than anything, I think.
Yeah, man. Sin, you're saying if we spend our entire draft pick on offense or defense, which one would you improve the most? I'm a defensive guy. I love rocking with the defense. I think defense wins championships, but the way that our roster is set up right now, I'd probably pour more in the offense, because I think our defense is ahead talent wise. Even though we don't have linebackers, I think our defense is ahead right now. So yeah, man, that's kind of where we sit. I appreciate everybody coming through. Let's do this. Raider Rebel, I appreciate you rolling in with us. Make sure you guys go hit up Rebel as well. Check out his content. He's got his own channel. He's always rocking as well. So make sure you guys go show some love to him as well.
Hey, you know what? Hey, Rebel, me and Rebel don't agree much, but just saying.
And we don't agree with Severe either.
I'm not big on T-Mac either.
We don't agree with Severe. We got some work to do. We're gonna out champion him in that mock draft 2.0 this Sunday. Mock draft 2.0 this Sunday. And Rick, you said, yeah. Oh, my bad. Rams had a good core. They did. Just Raiders, baby. Appreciate you rolling up, man. Make sure you guys go hit him up as well on his channel. He throws content all the time. Edgar, what's happening, man? And you guys go hit him up as well. They're always going live. So here's the thing, guys. Remember, make sure you guys go hit up Chris, Protect Show Podcast. I'm 805 Raider, Real Talk Raider Nation. Severe's always with us. He had to jump out a little bit early. Make sure you go hit him up. One thing that we are doing is that we are just showing love to our subscribers. So we're doing basically if you want to jump into the chat, be a subscriber. That's just one way for us to be able to just show appreciation to everybody out there. But all of our subscribers. But if you're viewing, we appreciate you too. But hit that subscribe button if you want to chop it up with us. One thing just to remember, if you guys are in the Southern California area, the Raider Nation Summer Kickoff, the 11th annual, 11 straight years, they put it on in Bakersfield. I'll be there. Chris is going to try to roll through. Severe's going to try to roll through as well. Make sure you guys let us know if you're going to roll through, because we're going to be there. It's a great opportunity for us to be able to put names to faces, show our appreciation, and just say what's up and chop it up, man. Because we did an event last month. Chris was in town. Severe rolled through. I'm obviously in the Vegas area, but we did an event at the Barcode Burger in Vegas. Raiders for Chris rolled with us. Myra G rolled with us. Jen Slinger rolled with us. All you guys in that chat, you guys came through. Lunatic Raider, Raiders Legions, you rolled with us, man. It was cool as hell seeing everybody, and we want to do it again. So if you're in the area, hit us up. Let us know. Bakersfield, California, Raider Nation Summer Kickoff. Go to IG Raiders Crusaders. He puts it all together with his team, and it's a hell of an event. So make sure if you guys are in the area, roll through. It's going to be a lot of fun. So appreciate everybody in the chat, man. Chris, let everybody know what's going down. I know you got something rocking tomorrow, but also you have something going on every Saturday. Let everybody know what you got going on.
Yeah, man. So very excited for tomorrow, man. So, if you guys are not already subscribed to me, man, make sure you guys subscribe and come through tomorrow. Tomorrow, I have an interview with former Raider linebacker and Super Bowl champ Tim Johnson. Good dude. He was a linebacker for us. Played a lot of special teams, but I mean, he was around, some of our, during our best time that a lot of us can remember, when we went to the Super Bowl. He actually won the Super Bowl with the Ravens. He played with, some iconic Hall of Famers, like Charles Woodson and Rod Woodson. And he was in the same linebacker room as Ray Lewis, and just been around. He was with us when we had Warren Sapp and Randy Moss, so got a chance to really sit down with him, and he has just a lot of stories, man. And he loves the Raiders, man. He still loves the Raiders, and going to get him to give some Al Davis stories and all kinds of stuff, man. So make sure you guys tap in tomorrow. Real down to earth guy. I'm very excited for it. I can't wait. So just make sure you guys tap in tomorrow. It's going to be at 6 Pacific time, 9 Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. So make sure you guys lock in. It's going to be fire. And then, as you guys know, got this show with Raider War Room with my brothers every Sunday and Tuesday, man. And I got my drop a show on Dub Raiders channel. The Raiders Weekly Wire that comes out every Saturday. We just kind of talk, the different topics, a lot of the current events and stuff like that, and just just basic football stuff. So for people that are just trying to get into the Raider ball, or that don't necessarily understand all the details and things like that, it's a cool little show that we do. So just make sure you guys tap in, man. As we close to the season, there's going to be more content, and support some of us smaller content creators, man. We put a lot of work in, man. We definitely do.
Yeah, 100%, man. We thought this was going to be a short show because not a whole lot went down, but man, the chat, you guys were rocking with us. It was great, and it was good going through the depth chart. But Raiders for Christmas, yes, you need tickets, but man, I think kids 11 and under are free, but also it's a family event. All you guys, it's a family event. There's carnival games and stuff like that. I think to enter in, it's $20. There's a VIP ticket that's $60 where you get a bunch of perks, but then there's also for a $100 ticket, it's for the signing. So there will be Raider players there. Last year was Divine Diablo, Jacoby Myers, and DJ Turner. So they get Raider players there. It's 11th annual. And so it's a hell of an event. It's cool as hell. Definitely make sure you guys pull up if you guys are in the area. But remember, you guys, we are Tuesday evenings, like tonight, Sunday evenings. We go live. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell so you guys do know when we go live. I'm 805 Raider, Real Talk Raider Nation. I jump on with my guys, Chris, as well as Severe. And I also jump in with some of the other guys like Any Raider Boosters, Christopher Raiders, all those guys, Raider Rundown. I jump in with them, just say what's up, and, man, chop it up with those guys because, man, at the end of the day, we're a small community, and it's nothing but love. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely appreciate everybody that puts the hard work in and just talk about the Raiders. So make sure you guys hit that notification bell so you do know when we go live Sunday night, mock draft 2.0. We'll do one every Sunday. Have fun with it. And Chris and I will be going to overtake Severe next time. I'm just letting y'all know. So
I already overtook him anyway. I don't care what y'all say.
And we screenshot it and everything, so we're going to have fun with it. So, again, guys, hit that before you guys get out. Hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications. We appreciate all you guys. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. Have a great rest of your week. And we'll see you guys on Sunday.
Peace.
We're out.